Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. It's time for the stream. It's the stream, it's the stream, it's the stream. Welcome to the stream. It's the asshole, streaming stream. Welcome. So I think I said yesterday's stream, I think I said something to the effect of, I want to do a stream. I want to look into for a stream, maybe not for the full stream. There's other things we might also do. There's been some suggestions already in chat, but for a stream, I've been wanting to maybe look at the phrase cinematic disaster, which comes up a lot in Origami King circles and similar types of users out there on the interwebs, on the YouTubes. Tend to use the phrase cinematic disaster to somewhat pretentiously refer to movies as if they know what they're talking about. And a lot of the time they don't know what they're talking about. I just watched the new Spider-Verse movie, and that was pretty good. And just the other day we were looking at some sort of a person, some user. His name was like Inside Out Fan 20 numbers or something. I don't know, but it was like he had a whole video where he was describing. He had multiple videos because he said that the new Spider-Verse movie was like the worst movie ever made. And I mean, the guy was like autistic or something was up with him, you know. But like it was really tough to figure out what exactly his issue was with the movie, and. I still don't really know what his issue was. I mean, other than the fact that it kind of ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, but that's sort of by design, you know. Bit of a Lord of the Rings thing. It's weird for the second movie to do that, but, you know, it's fine. As long as the next movie doesn't take 3 years to come out, or 5 years, or however long it took. But, yeah, no, that guy really didn't like it, and I believe he used the phrase cinematic disaster pretty frequently. And the last time I looked up the phrase cinematic disaster, it was mainly just quality, mainly good, mainly high quality content, from what I could see. I only took a brief look, and it might be different this time. We might not find much, but we might find some things. If we don't, we got other channels to look up. I'm sure people have, you know, super cool reviewers to suggest. We're looking for anybody who's in front of a camera and is talking about movies and they're saying why, you know, fucking Monsters, Inc. 2 is like the greatest thing to ever happen to cinema or something, and they've got like an air conditioner in the background. That's the vibe tonight. Cinematic disasters, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean that in the sense that we'll be looking up that phrase to find these people and see what they're calling cinematic disasters, but also whatever they're making will hopefully also be cinematic disasters. So that's you know, that's what we're hopefully down for. Hello chat. Take a look. The Room was a cinematic disaster. That's true. It was. It was not a very good movie by conventional standards. I would argue that The Room is one of the most entertaining movies that you can watch, though. No, Nostalgia Critic's too easy. Nostalgia Critic is a king amongst these fucking peons. The people we're looking at today would fucking wash the feet of the Nostalgia Critic and thank him for the opportunity. That's what we're going for. They had the balls! Yeah. Robot in the Family. Well, we're not watching the actual movies. I recognize that the title might have given that away, or the thumbnail, that we're watching movies. You might think that, but we're not. We're watching people discuss movies. And, you know, if you think about it, some of the greatest internet individuals out there have been people that discuss movies. Oh man, we dropped some fucking frames. That's cool. 1.5% of the stream has been frame dropped. That's great. I'm like a fighting game player on Wi-Fi. So let me see here. I don't think, did I save any of these people? I do have one guy I want to look at, by the way, who is like, it's not related to this stream at all. No, okay, I didn't save any of this, but it's not related to the stream at all, but there is a guy that I want to look at who, we might just pivot the stream into a different thing. I was so close to doing the Friends pivot joke there. I mean, it's not a joke, it's just me saying the word weird, like Ross did in that one episode, but would that really have enriched anybody's lives. I don't think so. But, no, I don't have it saved here. Cinematic disaster. I got hooked on this because yeah, it was the first Dogs Eating Dog 6 video, where he was talking about like his worst villains ever, and he in passing, just like very in passing, randomly, he was like, you know, I'm not even gonna get into Shrek 3, as obviously it's a cinematic disaster, and then he just moved on. But he was talking about like Prince Charming, I think, in that movie, and it all originates with this stream, or with this user, Schaeferless Productions, who I think is the one that coined this term, and he reviews cartoon movies, and I mean, I don't know, I remember hearing a few things in his videos where I was like, oh god, and I just clicked off, like, you know, that kind of thing. You hear an opinion, you hear a certain type of joke, and you're like, I'm good. But, you know, as far as it goes, making videos about, like, animated movies and stuff, this guy's, you know, up there. I'd rather watch his video. I have watched some of his videos recently. He's not, I don't have too much of an issue with them, but I fucking prefer this guy to Saberspark, I'll tell you that much. So this guy, you know, he makes videos about, you know, why Shrek the Third is a cinematic disaster, obviously. But then, you know, that has, you know, led off into people like Crazy Gamer Inc. here, why Norm of the North is a cinematic disaster. And I don't think many people are going to come to bat for Norm of the North, but that is a popular one to go after, because the Origami Kingdom also hates Norm of the North. They also had a video raging about this movie. But you know, we're not gonna watch any of the Schaeferless ones. Those are, you know, maybe not to everybody's taste, not necessarily, but I would generally say these are good videos. You could watch these videos. These are probably actual content that you could enjoy. Let me see here. Hang on. Let's see. Cinematic disaster. So I did start watching some of this Norm of the North video by Crazy Gamer Inc. And Crazy Gamer Inc. has like nearly 5,000 subs. He has 90 videos, and his description thing says, "I am legit a banger." And he has a music video in this fucking review, I guess, called "I Am a Norm Hater," because he has it uploaded independently of the review. He has some videos that got some popularity. Every episode of the Captain Underpants show ranked, every Captain Underpants book ranked. These videos might be good. This guy might be a good user. Well, we'll watch a little of this. If it's too good, then we can't watch it.
What is that noise?
Sex? No.
What is all that racket?
I mean...
Alright, about fucking had it. I'm bloody wet! The devil shivers when the nice guy loses his temper. Whoever's making that noise, expose yourself now!
I mean, I think it's on purpose. I think he knows. Sex! Giggity! I mean, I think he knows, but this is also really loud. I didn't even have it at full volume. Jeez.
Oh, you're finally awake.
You. What the hell happened?
Seems to me that you knocked your little noggin when you got scared by a haunted Norm of the North DVD.
Norm Love DVD. I mean, it's just... okay, we're gonna have to see if this is like, if there's like a wink and a nod here, because this just I always make the joke about like Dark Phallus, like it's it's my Dark Phallus. Oh no, I think the new one from the new video is like it's my super dark autism form or whatever. When Astro Boy, when they called Dogs Eating Dog 6 evil, and Astro Boy he leveled up, he gamer moded. But yeah, you know, it's that kind of thing. This like, I guess it's kind of like a Scott the Woz video, I guess, but Scott the Woz, I don't know, there's like a charming nature to it, and for some reason, but this is
Once about a DVD in 2 years. What's the dealio?
I don't know, but if I had a nickel for every time I had a patient that got scared by a haunted DVD, I have 2 nickels. Which
yeah,
is
this is just like the fucking, this feels like it's just stolen from the Scott the Woz. What is it? It's the series where he's like talking about the dark age of Nintendo, where he's like with the therapist character, and this is just the therapist character. This is just, I feel like he stole that joke even from the therapist character.
It's strange that it happened twice.
What was the movie?
Oh, it was one of Carter's too. Oh wait!
Oh
you're
God!
That kid.
It's impossible.
God. Okay, the ear rape ain't funny, dude. It's not 2010. Come on
I
now.
remember such a thing.
Oh yeah, I diagnosed you with amnesia after you made a YouTube video about it.
Hey y'all, Norm
Hey,
here.
If I make some video about Norm of the North,
Norm of the North. Any opinions on Dumbsville? I've seen some Dumbsville. It's all right. I haven't watched too much Dumbsville, but I've seen some quality Dumbsville.
it will stop haunting me. That doesn't make sense. I already made a video about it.
Hey, I know this might be a bad time right now, but you owe me $32,000.
So he not only did everybody already clown on Norm of the North, and who gives a shit about Norm of the North? I think I even said in that Origami Kingdom, the original one where we looked at their channel and not just Dogs Eating Dog 6, they had a video about it, and I was like, bro, how can you be this mad about Norm of the North? And I just don't understand how you can... Because not only did everybody already talk shit about that movie, and like nobody liked it to begin with, now you've already discussed it apparently in some capacity, and now you have to do a 22-minute video talking about it again? What did this movie fucking do to these people? Jesus Christ.
Legal fees. This is gonna be.
I feel like somebody forced their fucking kid, to watch Norm of the North, and they got like traumatized, and this is the result of that. Is they now have to inflict that trauma on all of us. I guess there are reasons maybe to be this upset about Norm of the North.
Harder than Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which is way harder than Bloodborne. Hey gamers.
Well, that's just true. That's just actually true.
Gaming here.
By the way, I've been playing Lies of P. It's a good game. I like that game. It's like Sekiro meets Bloodborne with its own thing. There's a factory area that feels like a near Automata zone, but then there's puppets, and I'm not doing so well with the Fuecoco boss, but you know, it'll happen. I'm working. I'm gonna get a shocky stick. Good game. I recommend it if you got the Game Pass thing. It's a quality experience.
Picture this. It is your
Gaming.
birthday. You're going to watch the epic Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Timothy Chalamet's Lies of P. Yeah. Which, by the way, features unironically the term P organ. Does not mean penis. Fun fact.
There's no more tickets. You don't know what to do. What are you gonna watch now? Norm of the North. And ever since that day, I have been forever scarred. I haven't seen Norm of the North since that day.
It is. I'm not even gonna give him too much shit for having difficulty saying Norm of the North, because it is kind of a little bit. It's a little bit harder to say Norm of the North than it sounds like it would be. Like, it seems like a simple enough... It's a tiny bit of a tongue twister. Not a big one. You can... If you focus a little bit, but if you're not focusing on your words, you're gonna get stumbled a little bit on Norm of the... I can't give him too much... I can't harsh his buzz too much for that. I can't ice his game.
Super old and really bad YouTube video. I didn't rewatch it. But now I own this thing. So, whatever. Maybe it won't be as bad as I remember.
So that old and bad YouTube video was worse than this. All right.
And before anybody asks, no, I'm not copying Dumbsville. I did it first.
Oh. Oh, 42 minutes. Bro, you already talked about it for 42 minutes. Dude. But he did it first, though, so it's fine.
But before we begin, let's have a little bit of fun first.
because we know I'm not gonna have fun when I talk about...
I'm gonna make a poll. I'm gonna make a poll right now. I'm gonna make a Liza poll. Crazy gamer! Crazy game burger! I'm gonna make a poll. Wait, there's no fair use fair? Yeah, there is. What's wrong with you? Fuck you. Fuck you. Eat some shit. So. Okay. Do we want to go back and watch his old Norm of the North video first? Because he says it's old and bad, and this one seems kind of bad already. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's derivative, it's not that great. It's not that great, you know? But, like, the old one might be funnier, but we're already into this one. We got 66% with yes. 71%, that's a pretty clear yes majority. That's a pretty clear yes majority. People are changing. You can't change your minds. Cast your vote and leave it that way. Fuck off. These people, I saw tap dance around 120 for a little bit. Like, oh, 117, 120. Fucking make up your minds. It's 153. I mean, we see the way it's going. We need the lore to understand the new arc. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm gonna cut it now. We see the way the Coomer is milked in the morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna cut it now. That's my new version of I see the way the bread is buttered, or that sort of thing. Oh, I didn't fall off the dildo truck yesterday. Let me tell you, there's a few crass ways you can take that. But we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. What we do here is watch his older video, which isn't linked under this video, even though he talks about it frequently. Maybe it's in one of the things, I don't know. But my first video, well, you know, my first YouTube video, he drew these little, it looks like Weekend Warrior a little bit. A Sonic movie, weird skits with Damon and friends. The Llama Lucian. So it was 3 years ago. And it would have been Norm of the North review. 3 years ago, 42 minutes. And this was like his first big video. Everything else here was like small, short, like maybe animated stuff. I don't know. But this is a 42-minute video here. Okay, well this is just a child, though. But like this is just we didn't account for the fact that this is in fact just like a 15-year-old. Oh, I don't think he's happy. I think it's a cinematic disaster. I mean,
some changes in it gets.
Yeah, he just does. You know, it's just a kid. I mean, he's probably still just a kid. Ultimately, he's just a teenager. But you know, we're fuck the poll. The poll doesn't. We don't need to watch a kid rant about Norm of the North. We need to watch a slightly older, perhaps young adult or late teens kid rant about Norm of the North.
About the movie. So I have a personal theory that after I uploaded that really bad video, they were just too scared and they just didn't make any.
It's Jover, folks.
I'm the reason why
we didn't do it, Joe.
They stopped making Norm of the North movies. Ignore the fact that they went bankrupt. But the most recent thing to come out of Norm of the North is their Twitter account. And I've been obsessed with it, and I just want to show you guys how insane this Twitter account is.
Yeah, we've seen enough. We've seen a lot of children being bullied, even though the game itself is still horrible as it seems.
It seems like a very basic corporate Twitter account, but then you can see it starts to get really, really weird. Norm.
Oh, is that why people are still talking about this? Because the fucking Twitter account went crazy. Did it continue being crazy?
Is ready. And then they post this. Like this tweet. If you're thinking about buying Norm of the North on DVD for Father's Day, what happens if I don't? Sleep with one eye open. I hate this. Just in a silly, goofy mood.
I mean, yeah, you know, he talks about the movie here, and there's a lot of memes.
A dramatic moment.
I'm not gonna tell him he didn't put a lot of effort in, you know. It's a lot. There's a lot of effort here. There's a lot of effort here. But is it good? Would I watch it? Sex? No.
Like the scene from Cars 2 when Mater realizes that he's an idiot.
I do like the shirt though. That's my favorite part about this. It is the shirt that says "sex?" ? No. I imagine some like older gentleman at a supermarket, and they approach him with like a platter of like cheese and little wieners, and they're like, "Would you like a sample, sir?" And he's just like, "No, thank you, no." Would you like some sex, sir? No, thank you, please. I appreciate it. No, thank you.
Feels like the scene from Cars 2 when Mater realizes that he's an idiot. Can you tell that I want this to be over already?
Oh, listen, chat members. I don't think we need to watch more of this guy. This is fine. He put in effort. He put in some effort. It's not a terrible video. It's not the worst thing. It's not a complete cinematic disaster. But it's not that great either. I'm not gonna give you too much for it. It's not that great. Yeah, there's somebody says movie Bob is 100% bullyable. He is, and we could make fun of Bully Bob. But the thing is his fucking videos are boring as shit. We don't want to watch movie Bob. I don't want to subject you people to movie Bob. Like, that's not fair to you. We watched movie Bob, like, not long ago. We watched some movie Bob. We did a whole half a stream was about movie Bob. And you know what? Guess what? Guess what happened? It was really not fun. It was miserable. I mean, the only parts that were at all enjoyable were the old videos where he was doing fucking, like, stupid-ass skits. And that was he wasn't even talking about movies then. When he talks about, like, the Barbie movie, he's just a depressing husk of a man. It's a shame. It's just a shame. He's a shame of a human. But, thankfully, don't worry about that. We don't need him. We don't need Movie Bob, because we have Batman Beyond Fanatic 2K11 to tell us why Batman and Robin 1997 is a cinematic disaster. Mr. Freeze is completely wrong! So we're gonna take a look at this. Oh, he's on his phone. Wait, 2K11? That means wait, this is also a child.
This is...
God damn it! Oh, okay, we're trying not to look at children necessarily. We're trying not to be like an EDP. It took me a little while to remember three letters. We don't want to be an EDP. We don't want to look at children. But we do have, we have our boy here. We just looked at him on stream the other day. Don't worry, this isn't a children. This is Trolls World Tour Fan 2001, why TMNT is a cinematic disaster.
So before the news,
this is the guy who hates the Spider-Verse movies. He thinks Gwen is woke, which isn't. Gwen is the least woke part of that movie. If you want to talk about woke, you might maybe the fucking Spider-Punk character or something, or the Indian Spider-Man. It got a little annoying. There was a little bit of annoying. There was a little bit of woke, but he said Gwen was woke. And I don't remember what else he said other than everything was bad and he hated it. So here he is to talk about, I think this is like the fucking, one of the terrible reboots, one of the bad Ninja Turtle movies.
Animated Turtles movie comes out. Let's talk about
Spider
this
Commie.
ugly piece of...
Well, no, I actually thought about that while I was watching it. I was like, this Spider-Punk character seems like, is he like a communist? He made a capitalism joke, and then I'm like, no, he probably wouldn't. He'd be like an Iron Wrath character. I had this thought in my head while I was watching it. I'm like, no, if you called him a communist, he would be like, nah, I don't like labels, man. I don't care if you're black or white. And he'd go into a whole spiel about it. Like, I instantly sized him up. I wouldn't say he's a communist. He's just he just needs some help. He's like Iron Wrath, and I think we all need a little bit more Iron Wrath in our lives. I don't know if my lady Class is here, but she was really into me talking about Spider-Verse, the the new one. And someone, I think it was her, mentioned that one of the characters in that movie was like, they took like an extra year to fucking animate one character or something. So I don't know. We're maybe we might continue the video where he was complaining about that movie because it was kind of fun. We might look at a little bit more of that.
Crap. What up, y'all? Trolls, old Tor fan, 2001 here.
What up, y'all?
Time today to do a cinematic disaster video on TMNT.
It's like, yeah, the phrase cinematic disaster is like its own genre, basically. You know, people go, this is a cinematic disaster video. Now my question is, do we have more videos from Cinematic Venom? Speaking of cinematic disasters, does anybody save Cinematic Venom's videos? Because I know he deleted all of his shit. Because he had some fucking bangers. We might want to look at that.
Yep, but TMNT is technically not the origin story of Ninja Turtles. No, it's like about these guys that...
Oh, it was... Like, it was Spider-Punk. I had a feeling it was probably either him or when the Spot thing happens, when they do the thing with Spot and, like, you know, things change a bit. That's a pretty cool scene, or the animation in that. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild stuff.
Sort of this complicated prophecy stuff and all that. Just bringing these monsters and all that, and just
all that. Whatever.
Gotta stop it, and I give up on the plot. I'm sorry. And when it comes,
he always does this. In the other ones that we looked at, it was the same. Like, yeah, you know, they do the thing and whatever. They go and they, you know, and I don't know, whatever. It's bad, guys. I don't want to talk about it. Like, I don't know. You can do that to any movie, really. You can do that to any movie if you want to. I don't know. Star Wars. They got on a sand planet. They got to go to find a girl or something. I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to talk about it. It's bad.
When it comes to the movies, there definitely has been extreme highs like Out of the Shadows, and extreme lows like Ninja Turtles.
Wait. Extreme highs like Out of the Shadow. He really liked this movie? This movie that someone in chat said, good lord, what a horrible poster or something. Yeah, this face looks like a meme. This I don't know the Ninja Turtles, the blue one. His face looks like a fucking, it looks like Craig from Halo Infinite. It looks like a meme. It looks like Les Jimmy's. It looks like the Jimmy's gorilla. It does. I don't know about that. I don't know about that face, but he says it's an extreme high.
And extreme lows like Ninja Turtles 3.
It's Leonardo,
that's
okay.
Actually worse than the movie I'm about to talk about. But TMNT, I gotta say,
I'm about to say some super harsh things. You know, yeah.
God, it freaking sucks, guys. Now, I mean, what's good about it? I guess the designs are actually kind of cool. The music is okay, I guess. Also, April O'Neil, in case.
So is this like the real? Is this what they look like in the movie? In this movie? Because this looks like a. Because what I thought, my thought process in asking that was, is this the movie or is this like the PS2 game based on the movie? This poster, because this doesn't look good. This looks like a Ratatouille tier or like Ratatouille tier animation. Like it looks like a shitty bad animation, like, you know, a Car's Life or whatever.
Jones, I gotta admit, they're fine, but their romance was just rubbish, I gotta say. Although I will give this,
romance,
I will admit, out of all the April O'Neil designs, I gotta say this is the best, honestly, because. And like in the opening, when she was like in the jungle and like South America and all that.
I love how people will say that this April O'Neil is fine, but like the new one from the new movie it's too different, guys. It's not because she's black. It's just because she's different. They made her different. It's like, well, does this look anything like any other April O'Neil? I don't know. Doesn't she usually wear like a fucking yellow jacket or something? She's like a reporter. Why does she look like Lara Croft here? What the fuck is this? Like, come on now. This is very different from regular April O'Neil, as far as I know her anyway. I don't know much though.
Cargo pants, which
yeah, she's woke. What the fuck?
Chicks in cargo pants, I gotta say, like Kim.
He digs chicks in cargo pants, everybody, including this. How many of these? Name the number. Count the children. Can you count them all on one hand? Is it a one-hand number, or is it how many? Can you say the number of children you're attracted to in the form of this many? You know, like hold up your fingers and go this many.
Possible style cargo pants. But not much, unfortunate, guys. I mean, wow. Does this movie get wrong? It gets a lot wrong, guys. Just I never felt like the Ninja Turtles were a team. The story sucks. It's just, and all that, and just, I just never felt the chemistry between the turtles.
This guy once called a child character hot. What video was that? You can't just say that as if you know what video. You have to say what video it is and, like, tell me where in the video it is. You know, like, maybe not, I don't know, you don't gotta give a whole timestamp, but, like, do you remember? Because I'll look for the fucking video. I would like to hear him say that. Yes, that would be funny. That would be very funny.
To say, and just the animation.
Animalia review. Okay, alright, okay, alright. Comments are turned off down there. Animalia. Let's see. Animalia. Well, I don't know where that is. Animalia. Did you spell that correctly? Don't know when. I saw it on some other's video. Somebody else talked about this fucking guy. It was a PBS Kids show. Well, top 5 favorite PBS Kids shows. Maybe this is the one.
Yo, Intel 2001 here, and I'm here today to present something I've yet to talk about on my channel, guys. Shows from PBS Kids. PBS Kids. What a great, very educational channel for young youth, preschoolers. Sometimes they'll make very endearing, charming, timeless classics, but other times...
Yeah, you'll wind up with a Caillou. That'll just happen to you. But that's basically like the experience of growing up watching Canadian cartoons, really. He seemed to have more vibrance, more joie de vivre, as you might say, a few years ago. He looked a little bit more, you know, youthful optimism, I guess. I don't know, maybe the Spider-Verse movies, they broke him, you know. I don't know.
They can sometimes make stuff that's pretty rotten. Sadly, guys, a majority of PBS shows from my childhood kind of do most of the time suck, guys. But I found
just one guy.
A couple of gems out there, like some shows that do kind of age well, guys. So I'm here today to present.
He keeps cutting. He's only referring to one of us, chat members. He's only talking to me specifically. The rest of you are inconsequential right now. This is personal between him and me. I'm sorry to let you know. Or it's just like one chat member. It's just like Bottle Rocket in chat. Like, it's you. He's talking to only you. You know what? That's the canon. I'm not gonna interfere. You guys are having a conversation now.
My top 5 favorite PBS shows from PBS Kids. These are the shows that really speak out to me, that I think really aged well because of how nostalgic they are. And believe it or not, just like my top 5 best Cartoon Network shows back from fall 2017, I will show the intro of this show they came from. And so yeah, this shall be pretty fun, guys. So anyways,
it's gonna be pretty great, guys.
Coming at number 5 is...
Okay. Okay, so now people were already talking about Cyber Chase. Now the question is, any kid you see on screen, is he gonna call that kid hot? I guess you're gonna have to watch to find out.
It was personally,
this might not even be the right video.
Very fun.
He said a chat member said it was Animalia. So I mean, I guess when that happens, we'll all get our little dick cards. But yeah.
Oh, to me, I like the concept. It was pretty imaginative of these kids fighting against an evil person in this game. Yeah, that's kind of remind me of Ready Player One. In fact, this show should have been titled the kid version, like the PBS Kids version of Ready Player One.
That should have been the title, huh? Like, including you stumbling that, like the kid version, the Ready Player, include all that in the title, yeah. I'm sure this is probably better than... That's such an insult to whatever you're talking about. I've never seen this show, but that's such an insult to it. What a shame. How dare you say that about whatever show this is?
Lol. Anyways,
lol.
coming
He just
at
said
number
lol
4,
in real
this
life.
here is a very true classic that you'll really remember, guys.
He barely said anything. Yo, it's Arthur. Yo.
Hey,
I mean, I'm all
what a
down for
wonderful
that.
Nostalgic show, so fun and educational, and opened up my heart. Man,
Bars! Bars! That's fucking bars! You don't know shit about that!
that opening intro of this show is just iconic, guys. Yeah, Arthur to me, guys, it's a very heartfelt and simple show, guys. So charming and delightful to sit through. Yet your kids totally deserve to watch. Coming at number 3.
He barely says anything about about these shows. Why is he even talking about? Why is he... Like, it's 5 shows. You could talk about them for a little bit longer. Why even make the fucking video if you're not gonna talk about them? Oh, I sure hope this isn't the show. Okay, no, it's Sesame Street. I mean, I haven't watched I don't remember the Sesame Street. Man, the theme, man, look at that face. Does anybody need a new avatar? Damn, that's a good face right there.
You were always there, a part of my childhood. The puppeteering on all these puppets is stellar, guys. All the characters are just lovable, guys. How could you hate them, guys? I can't believe this Sesame Street is like half a century old right now, guys. Wow, I'm gonna review it some point soon on my channel, guys. But I could definitely say
he does have issues blinking. That's true, guys.
and my favorite character in this show, guys, was always Cookie Monster. Cookies. Anyways, coming at
That's so me. I relate to Cookie Monster so much.
number 2.
I love Clifford, the big red dog.
Now, originally, guys, I thought about putting Clifford either at number 3, number 2, but at the last minute, I put it at number 2 because I'm more of a dog person, guy. Yeah, I even read the classic book, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Yeah, that kind of book series.
This guy's all about the knot, guys. This guy just wants... Don't get it twisted.
And yeah,
now.
he's been always a part of my childhood, guys. It would be so awesome to have a big dog like Clifford, guys.
Yeah,
I did like
guys.
his cute spin-off show, that when he was a puppy. Sure, the animation is pretty simple, but it still looks very charming and colorful, guys. So yeah, while this list has a lot of pretty simple and charming shows, guys, that are just so sweet, guys.
Guys, you know, just imagine he's standing over you in a kill room, unblinking, guys.
Boy, my number 1 pick is gonna shock.
It's gonna
you
shock.
all, guys.
It's gonna shock and
so
awe.
Here we are, my number 1 favorite PBS
He's just gonna fucking murder us. He's gonna flashbang us and then slit our
skit
throats.
show goes to
Dinosaur Train. Okay. Well, I would say that this is not the right video then, wherever he talks about this Animalia show and calls a kid hot. I guess that it would probably not be this.
That's right, people. In my eyes, this is the true.
Maybe he must have removed the video, I guess. Dinosaur Train. That's a cool show. I've never heard of that. But he's all about that. Let me see here. He was lambasting the show. It's not this video. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. Daniel Tiger. Arthur review. This Frozen rant is old and no longer accurate. You know, I should look up the word rant, really. Rants / extreme rants. He has a whole playlist. Oh, baby. He used to be a fucking... Oh... From like a couple years ago, he used to be like a gacha life emoji. I guess it's not an emoji. It's like a little It's like a little character. He has an extreme mega killer rant about Norm of the North, of course. But I'm not necessarily finding whatever this this thing is. Not in this playlist. I don't know. We're probably not gonna find that. But this guy, you know, this guy's got his rants for you if you want to see them. If you want to see the 11 millionth person talk about fucking food fight and Norm of the North, I guess, you know, this guy's probably, maybe he brings some real interesting perspectives to it. Let's see here. Let's see. A to Z Studio. We got a lot of like cinematic music and shit. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is a cinematic disaster. From Dinosaur and Mario fan! ! How old are you? Are you 5?
So,
You're 5. Alright. Why Hercules is a cinematic masterpiece. This is from CJ the Bob's Burgers fan 2008. You know, it's good when they put their ages in the... Okay, well this one better be accurate, because White Shadow and Turbo Fan 1973 is the name of this user. If you're actually born in 1973, if that's your birth year, then that's fantastic. I hope this is an old man. Talking about Ralph Breaks the Internet over here. It's a cinematic disaster. This is from 3 months ago. Marvel theme? Right. Oh my god. White Shadow and Turbo Fan 1973. Look at all of the... Everyone is here, chat. Everyone. Every possible characters. So many characters. All of your favorite characters are here. And they all love you, personally. You. They all love you. And they want you to be part of their adventures. And yeah. I'm just looking around now. There's Papa Smurf. There's the emoji from the Emoji Movie. There's the fucking... Is that the Gecko? There's like Daffy Duck. The rest of the group doesn't know about Daffy Duck's true allegiances at this point. You know, they're none the wiser. Barney's up there. Barney and Mario are right next to the South Park kids. Like, can we just acknowledge... I mean, I know it's a cartoon, and I know kids have watched it, but man, South Park is really just right next to, like, Lilo and Stitch, and Thomas the Tank Engine, and Bob the Builder. How about that? How about that? Family Guy was somewhere. I don't know. They're over here. Family Guy is right next to fucking Tigger, and this fucking Tigger over here, and Eeyore. And whatever, Bluey, the daughter of the Bluey family is right next to the daughter of the Griffin family over here. So this is good. This is just quite something, isn't it?
That is one big pile of shit.
hey, this is White Shadow and Turbo.
God damn it, you're a... Child, did you time travel here? Your name says you're from 1973. 1973! I expected an old man! God damn it! Well, you know, this is what the youths are up to. And if you're a parent and you find out that you're fucking... Oh my god, wait, really? Is this a joke? Oh, this has to be a joke. Come on now. Yeah, this is like a meme, I think. I think there's a meme video we're about to look at, but... Yeah, I don't know, man. I would love to see somebody who's, elderly doing one of these videos. I would love to see someone who's, like, older than me. I don't know, man. That would just be great. Across the Spider-Verse is a cinematic disaster review. So the PNG tuber saw Across the Spider-Verse, and you can already guess what he thinks about it. Unbelievable! And you can see that the PNG tuber over here has his arms folded, which, like, you don't want to mess with the PNG tuber when his arms get folded. But he thinks it's a cinematic disaster, and this might be a joke. This looks like a joke about this type of video, like the one I made the other day, but maybe I'm wrong.
On June 2nd, 2023, the world was introduced to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, let me be clear. I hate every single one of these unoriginal, contrived, repetitive, and formulaic superhero movies. Except for Eternals and Thor 4 and Doctor Strange 2. Because those were all
Is this a joke? I think it has to be. He likes Eternals. Nobody likes that movie!
totally awesome. But my family forced me to go and see Across the Spider-Verse because our house is being fumigated for bedbugs.
Well, this is fun. This is fun. This video only has 370 views, so this is he's doing a little shtick. He's got a voice and everything. I like it. I like it.
Which is stupid because they're just gonna find their way in again. They're like illegal immigrants. But anyway, we all went to see it, and let me just say, that was the most miserable dinner experience that I've ever had in my entire life. I wanted to get up and walk out throughout the entire movie. Is not only the worst animated movie ever made, but it's also a hazard to health. It is a crime against humanity.
Maybe this is why you got bed bugs, dude.
In 4,000 theaters across the country. This is the downfall of American society. We're just allowing these giant foreign media corporations to show us this absolute filth, and we just stick our butts up in the air and let them have our way with us. We need to start taking a stand against this crap.
Okay, so it's a scheme from foreign media, I guess? I mean, I want to assume it's a joke, but we really can't be entirely sure, can we? He might be putting on the voice to be funny, but these might just be his real opinions. I mean, the voice is definitely not real. I'm gonna go so far as to assume that. And the bedbugs house fumigation, that might also not be real. He might be jiving us a little. But he might be actually not a fan of this movie, potentially, and I don't know what he's getting at with the foreign media corporations. I mean, I guess it's Sony, but it's like, I mean, it's Spider-Man. Everybody who ever made Spider-Man was from the fucking New York area.
I'm being too general. I'm sorry, but where do I even begin with this crock of shit? I just want to know who thought it was a good idea to make a sequel to a movie that came out 5 years ago, let alone one that was a complete and utter failure at the box office. I just don't understand why these studios don't just produce mind scripts about curing the woke mind virus and putting all these liberal Democrats into moratoriums so that they can infect the younger generation with their dangerous demagogue debauchery.
Alright, the demagogue debauchery, right. Well, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. This user, Voyager Arts YT over here, is a pretty fun individual, and if you want to see more of that, you can certainly look at that. Cinematic Disaster, though, I mean, that was from a few months ago. I've got another one from that kid. Oh, he really is just like... Guys. This fucking child needs to shut up! No, I'm sorry. This kid's fine. He don't make fun of him. He's so annoying. He has no background checks. No, that's a joke. Just a joke. But we do have this guy, Nick Hicks, which sounds like another thing you got to be careful about saying too quickly. Nick Hicks over here. Why Scoob 2020 is a cinematic disaster. Nick Hicks, Spider-Verse, and I love that their names are always like this, by the way. His name, Nick Hicks, Spider-Verse and Frozen 2 fan, 2001. So the fun thing is, the guy we were looking at who was talking about the TMNT movie, his name was like Trolls World Tour fan 2001. But his old name that got him a rant video by a different user was Frozen 2 fan 2001. So this is just a theme that these people love to go with. Why Scoob 2020 is a cinematic disaster. Let's find out. 27 minutes over here. He's got an intro. Yay! Disney and Disney properties. I love Disney. I love Disney. I'm such a fan of Disney. I wish Disney would buy an oil company so that they could be fueling my cars. Disney, I love Disney. I wish Disney would buy up the entire Eastern Seaboard. God, I want to give my money to Disney. Nick Hicks, Frozen 2, and No Time to Die, and Avatar fan 2001. See, my thing is, you're clearly also a fan of This Is Like Stranger Things girl. And like, why is she not involved in this? Why is she here, but she doesn't get a spot in your name? Come on now. Come on now. These names have to, this is not a good naming convention. This gets to be very complicated once you start liking more than like 2 or 3 things, or the titles are kind of long. Like, what if you're into something where the title is just really long and stupid? What if your favorite game is like, what is the game on PSP? It's like, no, you are a bad man, what have I done to do this, or something like that. What have I done to deserve this? Some shit like that. What if that's your favorite game? That's like a full username right there. That you can't have that, and then also Frozen 2, and also, like, A Bug's Life 2, or whatever. Come on, man.
Hello,
very inefficient.
This is your good old neighbor Nick Hicks in Frozen 2, and no time.
Okay, sir, that's not. You gotta be real careful about the. Oh, I counted like a couple things where he.
Hello, everyone. This is your good old neighbor Nick Hicks in Frozen 2.
So your good old neighbor Nick Hicks. What are you saying, sir?
And no time to die, an Avatar fan to that one, yo. And I really hope you enjoyed my Q&A episode 40, and stay tuned for my episode 41 on my Q&A until on Friday or Thursday.
Yeah. Seinfeld and Yakuza and Star Trek and Persona 1 and Persona 2 and Persona 3 and Persona 4 and Persona 5 fan Dork 2001. No, mine would be not really Star Trek. That wouldn't make it in there necessarily. I mean, I am a fan, I guess. I am a fan of Star Trek to an extent. So, I mean, technically, depending on how you... This is what I'm saying, is how do you decide what gets in the username? Because now I'm thinking about it. We all have to kind of imagine what our usernames would be. I want you to post in chat when you figured out what your username would be. Mine would be probably something to the effect of, you know, Seinfeld and Yakuza and Persona and Wheel of Time fan and One Piece fan 1994. That would be my, Dork. XXX, obviously. You gotta have that. And then I would also have in brackets, I would just say, please respond, and that would be it. You gotta give us your usernames, everybody. Fire Truck Moster Truck 1969. Alright, everybody can stop posting their usernames. That one wins.
Thursday,
The first one I saw.
No, because I won't make any videos on Wednesday because it's apparently at 6. I mean, no. Maybe at 6. I still have some reward ceremony, even as my business, but I have to tell.
Philly? No, okay. I mean, Philly cheesesteak and weed and hot women and One Piece fan 2001. Godzilla Tally Hall Zeppelin Wars fan 1864. Biggest Germa Minecraft roleplay fan for life 2002. X-Files and Reboot fan 1984. These are good. This is actually a good way of naming yourself. If all of your faves weren't just like the same 3 or 4 cartoon movies, then if you were like Pride and Prejudice and The Smurfs 2, you gotta have one in there. And Event Horizon fan 1973. And then for whatever reason you are still a 10-year-old even though your name is 1973, like that other fucking kid who has no background checks. God damn it.
You just in case you are so curious what my regular video is going to be. But there was a possibility that I might delay my regular video, but don't get disappointed, guys.
Don't get disappointed.
But honestly, guys, this is gonna be the one day that you're not gonna get regular video by me, and this is gonna be the one day that you won't.
I don't know, man. This is fine. He's talking about this for like 20 minutes, 27 minutes, and he goes for a while. and I'm sure he tuckers himself out and has to have a freezy pop after. But that's fine. That's fine. Scoob 2020. Why a troll? See, my favorite thing though is that like I'm only 4 months back now. The phrase cinematic disaster is like a genre to these people. It really is. I wasn't wrong by looking this up. It's really a thing that they all rally behind. This type of permanently online internet individual. So this person here really doesn't like a troll in Central Park, and their rant sona appears to be an Undertale troll. I think that's one of the trolls, right? Not Undertale, the other one, the other Homestuck. Undertale's actually good. Homestuck, that's the one. A Homestuck troll. And so it's only 2 minutes, but they really don't like this. They really don't like this movie. They don't like this movie. Hi, Plotagon. He even said he was gay! Well, I mean, to be fair to Undertale, it is only as good as I would only say it's good mostly because of its music. If it didn't have the soundtrack, I feel like that definitely brings it down a few points, but you know, I think that goes for any game with a really good soundtrack, really. I mean, FF7 would be nothing without the music, so, you know, it's pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like the type of I don't think it's the type of thing you need to base your whole fucking existence on. Now, let me tell you about Wheel of Time and Persona. Huh. Wait a minute, it's have no plot. So I really need to get my hands on this Plotagon business. Hands, I know chat members. Hang on, I gotta go put my air conditioner on. It's surprisingly warm. It's surprisingly humid. It's unseasonably warm for this time of year. I gotta get my hands on this Plotagon business. Because that sounds pretty funny. That sounds pretty funny. Making some fun animations. You know, we've seen a lot of Hotel Mario memes, but we haven't seen that many Plotagon memes. At least not from me. I could probably make some good stuff. You know what I really miss? Does anybody remember the old anti-bullying comics? I mean, I'm gonna show them to you eventually in a video. I got some of them to save to share with you. But like, does anybody remember the anti-bullying comics generator? I miss that. Where it was meant to be for, you know, people to make comics about how bullying is bad or something. I don't know why these boomers thought that they would give people the option to make funny comics and they would make it about a serious issue, but they surprised they didn't, and it wound up just being a way to like reenact green texts or recreate loss or whatever other manner of funny memes. And I look at Plotagon and Go Animate and stuff like that, and I'm like, you know, that's basically just the modern version of the anti-bullying comics, frankly. No sound? What do you mean no sound? What do you fucking mean no sound, chat member? No sound. What do you mean no sound? Why is there no sound? There is not sound. How did there wind up being no sound? How did there wind up being no sound? That's wild. That's really wild. There just wound up being no sound, because I muted myself somehow by accident before. There's a ghost in my PC. I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. It's just a robot voice.
This movie is so awful that it's made Food Fight and the Emoji Movie look like happy tree friends. The movie is about Stanley, who is a friendly troll with a magic green...
Yeah, it's just a text-to-speech. It's nothing. Thankfully, you didn't miss anything interesting. I don't know what that's about, but nothing there, really. Somebody's suggesting RK Outpost. We'll probably look at that. I'm almost tired of the phrase cinematic disaster at this point. I want to see if I can. Oh, Bugs Bunny Entertainment over here really didn't like the Mario movie. That's one. This could be good. Hi guys, I am Brian Johnson. In this channel, you will see media updates, media collections, TV intros, movie reviews, Looney Tunes, Merry Medleys, openings and closings, movie end themes, videos, credits, and others. I don't have any channel rules except please no off-topic comments. Okay, so racism is fine then. That's Pog. That's a joke. For legal purposes, that's a joke. So he has reviews here. I think this is probably... Is this another kid? So he's reviewing these movies, you see, except the reviews... Oh, they're not reviews, they're overviews. So he's not doing reviews of these movies. I thought he was. I mistakenly thought these were reviews. They're not, they're overviews. So you click on Minions here, and you just get to learn what the Minions DVD looks like, as if that information is not elsewhere on the internet. Silence, you know, which is a virtue, really. You know, you get to hear him... You know, thank God you told me that the sound was muted. Because you couldn't have missed... You wouldn't want to miss this. Ah, yes. Oh, there's a DVD. Mm-hmm. Legs, right? They go all the way up. Right. Oh, this fucking breathing into the mic. I mean, I always reference it, but it reminds me of, like, the... And you just hear them typing while they're telling, like, you got a fucking unregistered Hypercam 2 like notepad file open, teaching you how to pirate The Sims 2 open for business, no virus, real, I swear. And you can hear them typing, and you can hear them breathing, and you can hear their parents fighting, and you can hear cop cars outside. You can hear gunshots down the road, but they won't say a word. And that's what this is. He could just at least say something about it, man. It's just creepy. I mean, you don't even need to make this content, frankly, if we're being honest. I mean, this info exists elsewhere in the world. So I'm not sure what you're really adding to any of this, but I mean, I don't know what the fuck any of this. It's like 5-second clips of all this shit. Popular. Yeah, it's just like movies. My Christmas Blu-ray club. Does he talk in this one? Oh, he does. Nowadays,
I still like still love The Holiday, and still to this day. And some people do consider this as a Christmas movie, so that's what I'm showing.
Okay, I can see why he doesn't want to talk more. Alright, that's Bugs Bunny fan there. You'd think that a Bugs Bunny fan would be a little bit more fucking animated, but I guess not. That's Brian. He's real cool. What is this?
Also, what do you find so hot about Margot Robbie?
Well, what? Well, what do you think of her?
No, you tell me. What do you find so hot about her?
No, you tell me first, dog. No, you tell me first.
I don't really have much of an opinion on her.
I sure hope these are both adults talking about people being hot.
Or you tell me.
Because this fella sounds like he's, you know, like his voice has dropped.
Well, in The Wolf of Wall Street,
I don't know if the other one
she's
does.
pretty attractive. Oh, and I forgot Suicide Squad movies. Yes, she's pretty attractive in those.
She's pretty attractive in those. So this is just a random. This is just a random clip of somebody he knows saying that one of the most attractive actresses in the world is hot. So, you know, fucking stop the presses about that one, I guess. Yeah, alright. Well, he's got some good subscriptions here, though. I mean, I don't know if this channel, necessarily. This guy seems like a bit of a wet blanket. But what about Krusty Aiden? No, more TV intros. What the fuck? I mean, I guess it's cool. It's like, it's, you know, it's something to... You want to save that information, you know, you don't want it to be lost media, random old TV show intros or whatever, but there's Michael the movie over here. Is this a kid? Well, he has autism. He says so in his description. He's got a VHS collection. There's a lot of people that just do, like, my VHS collection, and that's their whole... Okay, what's this? Sad news. Read to description, this says. Well, I can't read the description because it's a fucking short. He made a short that says read to description, but you can't read the description because it's a fucking short. Oh, I guess you can. Description. My mother has recently oh, well, that is sad. Okay, well, that's unfortunate then. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that are just like, my DVD collection, my VHS collection, and it's, you know, people like Terry the Metroid Ed Boy, over here. My top 20 best characters. New. It says new. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Schaeferless, obviously, is on the subscription list. I hope that Schaeferless feels good about all of the people that he's inspired. just like, you know, AVGN and Nostalgia Critic, you know, they've inspired some real quality users out there. Nick Hicks is back in this one. Jack Attack Gaming thinks the Mario movie's a cinematic disaster, and he has a recolored Yoshi, it looks like, as a character. This video isn't for kids. It said it the video. It said it isn't for kids, so that means that implies this is a grown-up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God. I mean, what does this all look like to you? What does this all remind you of? Wow, this is a really bad intro. Oh, you had a gun. That's cool. Videos uploaded whenever I feel like it. Yeah, fuck you, Mom. We've seen a lot. Yeah. Not like Hitler memes. What is that? Why is there a Minecraft? What's happening?
Yo, what is up, you Jack Attack gamers?
Wait,
Jack Attack Gaming here.
I thought this video wasn't for kids, Junior. What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean the video isn't for kids? Fuck.
And I'm finally back making my triumphant return to the YouTube platform. But you might be wondering why I'm not sounding happy.
I mean, at least this is the type of person you would expect this video to be made by. You wouldn't expect or necessarily feel comfortable with this video being made by somebody my age, but you know, you hear this voice and it's like, well, this is probably fine. This is all right. There's nothing too crazy here, but that being said, your intro is pretty cringe. Let's see what you have to say a little bit.
Cheery.
And I really hate the Mario movie, so maybe we'll agree.
Instead sounding disappointed and insulted like one of those stupid emo kids. Well, the Super Mario Bros.
See, he put in effort.
Insulted like one of those stupid.
He's got an emo Yoshi with a skull on it and a crossbones. Man, this kid's going places. He's trying out. He's a real go-getter video editor.
Emo kids. Well, the Super Mario Brothers movie is coming out, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, what the fuck does this kid know about emo kids, though? That is a good question. I guess emo as a concept still exists to some extent.
Animation looks spectacular. The fight scenes look amazing. Donkey Kong says a funny line. Okay, maybe not that one. They reference this.
I mean, the funny thing is, this child has more or less the same production and quality as Video Game Donkey, so that's cool. Jack Attack over there. That video is not for kids, even though he's clearly a kid. Jonah Who over here has a bizarre snake creature with like fucking Color Frills or whatever. He's wanted to do this review for a while. Shark Tale is a cinematic disaster. Also, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Oh, isn't that the good one? Hang on, what do you have to say, Undertale fan? Reblex.
Hello everybody, welcome to another thing of Undertale. So today I'm going to be talking about why Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a cinematic disaster. And
okay, guys. Is this AI, for one thing? This sounds so flat and monotone that I think I could believe it, but it kind of sounds like a human. He's playing Undertale, and the Undertale is really loud so far.
You should all not like it. Okay, so basically, one of the key so let's just start from the beginning.
Let's just start from let's just start from the beginning.
So in the beginning of the movie, Puss decides that he's gonna fight a giant monster because they set off some
Do we need to be playing Undertale while this is happening, though? I feel like this is distracting.
Fireworks, and they were being really, really reckless with all the fireworks.
Why are you starting a new Undertale playthrough in this video? Is this this has to be some kind of a joke, I would assume. But humor and irony are dead, Poe's law and whatnot, so, I mean, who's really to say at this point? Is this the format of your videos? You just do a rant about something and you start a new playthrough of Undertale?
We're hosting a party right next to a giant monster. And also, the giant monster doesn't really seem very realistic.
Is he like speed running?
Because the giant monster, so it's been asleep for assumedly 1,000 years based on what some random guy said, because the random guy said that it was asleep for like 1,000 years.
He's got his mouse cursor in the video.
And then, but then it has like a random bag that it like carries people in. And so where's the monster gonna go with all the people if it's been gone for 1,000 years? If the people not gotten rid of the place, that the monster would take them.
What the fuck, dude? Is this really your video?
I don't find it very realistic that Jack Horner was still able to do all of those things. Okay? I also don't find it very realistic how he's so willing to just
This guy's voice is so fucking boring, combined with how loud Undertale is, that whatever he's saying is just washing over me, and I have not seen this movie, so I don't even know what exactly he's getting at. But I can't tell immediately if this is a joke, really.
Immediately kill every single person that he comes into contact with, because I just don't really find that very realistic. And also that none of his magic...
Yeah, the fucking animated fantasy film about a little talking cat with a sword is really unrealistic. That's true. That's a good point. You really made a good point there. Somebody attributes this to Mahler. I really think this... I mean, I don't think Mahler has used the phrase cinematic disaster. I don't really watch Mahler. I mean... The guy's fucking still mad about Star Wars movies. Who gives a shit? Watch better movies, I guess. But, you know, everybody, like, there was a great tweet I saw recently, it was somebody screen capping the new Critical Drinker video that was like, why modern movies suck. Nobody can stay dead. And it was just Palpatine. And the tweet was like, why doesn't this man watch anything other than blockbusters? Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're, you know, blockbusters and whatnot, but this guy's really mad.
Weapons throughout the entire movie.
I mean, he's not even mad.
On anybody except for his goons.
He's just very flat.
The goons are expendable and the writer.
He kinda doesn't care. I wouldn't say this is Mahler, though. This is more of a, again, Schaeferless type of individual. Schaeferless uses the phrase cinematic disaster. I don't think anybody necessarily is to blame, you know, but it's just like that's where I think this came from more than anything. I don't know that Mahler has, you know, I don't know that his videos about Star Wars. Maybe if we look at funny bad reviews about Star Wars, that would be good.
About them, that's who they're allowed to kill. And I honestly find it very insensitive that they allow all the goons to be killed, but not actually any of the main characters. And that's just a lot of plot armor stuff, because I don't find it very realistic that...
It's not realistic. This is just a troll. I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke, but it's like he's reaching for reason. He's really nitpicking hard for reasons why this cartoon sword cat movie is unrealistic or something, and like I can't imagine that that's actually you can't really be a real person. I'm sorry. Was this, wait, 5 months ago? April 1st. Okay, this was an April Fool's video, everybody. We got trolled. We got a little bit trolled. But the channel does offer the worst videos on the internet, according to its description. And then there's a video here about somebody who's problematic, which is more Undertale.
Hello everyone, welcome to a video. So today, I'm going to be talking about the drama that just went down. I'm going to be talking about the YouTuber Divine Beetle. Now, you may have heard of this man. He's very evil, and you should all hate him. And I'm about to tell you why. Before we get into it, you should probably play Undertale before you watch this, because this is gonna be spoilers.
Maybe spoilers, guys.
Oh, sorry, this game sucks.
I will say Undertale is kind of hard to deal with now. The humor has not aged well. Some of it's still funny, but some of it is very heckin' doggo chonker kind of shit. And yeah, I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if that's not the best anymore. You know.
Please go away. Bye.
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 Okay.
I think not. Alright, so now we need to talk about Divine Beetle.
I mean, this guy is not. This one wasn't from April 1st, so this isn't an April Fool's joke.
Alright, Divine Beetle is ignore that. Divine Beetle is actually a pure evil person.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, because Divine Beetle rhymes with Weedle.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Reblex. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, buddy. Shark Tale is a cinematic disaster over here. Jonah Who, with 50,000 subscribers. Jonah Who does not like Shark Tale, thinks it's a cinematic disaster. 2.9 thousand views, 50,000 subscribers. That's a shame. Oh, why did I play? That was a mistake. Sorry, I didn't mean to play that.
Shark Tale is a 2004 North Korean computer-animated cautionary tale about the rise of totalitarian dictators. Produced by DreamWorks Animation and directed by Mung Dahl.
Yo! What's up, diggity dogs? I just made a mess in the other room!
It's also one of the worst animated movies I've ever seen in my life. Though, to be fair, I don't watch a lot of those crimes against nature animated movies like Ratatouille or What's Up.
Those cinematic disasters!
Perfect, China! I promised to give you some moo goo guy pin when we get back to the house!
I don't know, maybe my
Thanks a lot, China.
brain's a little too skewed towards good animation. I mean, Ralph Breaks the Internet was the worst animated movie I saw in 2018, and even I think its Oscar nomination was justified given its competition that I didn't bother seeing. But let me tell you what's not justified.
Well, this seems like a real video at the very least. This seems like a real adult person. It's just, man, the phrase cinematic disaster, unironically at this point, is just it's a little hard to deal with. I don't know.
Academy Award for Best Animated Feature nominee, Shark Tale. This movie, with its 35% Rotten Tomatoes score, a percentage that is somehow lower than Cars 2, and the lowest score of any DreamWorks animated film ever. This movie, commonly regarded by everyone as the worst feature.
I mean, this is a fine video. We don't need to watch this one. This is not him screaming. This is not anybody who's particularly, you know, this guy probably is completely neurotypical. Well, no, he is a furry. Never mind. Definitely neurodivergent. Probably not a minor though. He sounds like an adult. So we can't bully him. He's not a child. Yeah. Let's see here. Trolls World Tour fan 2001 did not like Scream 6. That was his worst movie of 2023, before Indiana Jones and then before the Spider-Man movie that everybody else liked. Morbius is a cinematic disaster, says someone. The worst disaster in movie history. Why, Zootopia is a cinematic disaster. Worst sequel ever made. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably good on the phrase cinematic disaster. I think there's more probably to be found if you look up that phrase. I'm sure there's more to be found. But we're finding some interesting stuff, some good users. I'm gonna take a look now. The person suggested this guy. I don't know that this guy is necessarily interesting. Let's see. Okay, fine. You know what? If we're gonna talk about film criticism, if we're gonna talk about disasters and things, then really it's only right that we look at one of these people. One of these types of individuals, one of these users, who make these thumbnails, and all their thumbnails look like this, and all their videos are like this, and they're, wow, this is all in the past 2 days. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. We got a One Piece thing. Holy shit. This is sad. Woke activists have destroyed entertainment. Well, I mean, it's okay. Entertainment is alive and well. Look how entertainment we are. Look how much entertainment we have. There's so much entertainment. You know, if anybody's gonna do something to help the state of entertainment, it's you. You're pumping out good content, buddy. All this in 2 days. Damn. No, entertainment's just fine. The industry, don't worry. Don't worry. We got a lot of talented people making a lot of great videos. Well, let's click on this one, because these fucking people won't shut up about this stupid Snow White movie. I don't know why they're all so mad about this fucking Snow White movie. I don't understand. It's like, I looked at a shot of the cast and it looks awful, but I'm like, who cares? Who has so much attached to Snow White outside of the whole, like, great replacement, like, white supremacist bullshit, you know, unless it's literally just, they're replacing us, or whatever. Unless it's that, if it is just, this movie looks stupid and the casting looks bad and all of the costumes look bad and everything, it's like, well, okay, does anybody really care that much about Snow White, for one? For two, does anybody really care that much about the fucking Disney live-action movies anyway? I mean, the only time I even hear about these fucking things at this point is when these fucking people whine that one of them has a black person in it or something. So, like, who gives a shit? Nobody's... I mean, I guess people are watching them, but they're not exactly popping off. Nobody fucking cares about them. Nobody really cares about these fucking movies. It's just this constant source of, like, why are you people still mad about, like... Oh, guess what? Another Disney movie, another Disney live-action movie is gonna be shit. I don't know. But let's hear what he has to say.
Things certainly haven't gone well for Disney when it comes to their newest woke live...
Oh, man, looking at this fucking... just this, like... interface that we're looking at. Like, is the quartering to blame for this one? We got Schaeferless on the last category of bullshit, but is this all the quartering's fault? Or who else is responsible for making their fucking videos look this way? Jesus Christ.
Live-action remake Snow White. Rachel Zegler, the Latina actress that they've specifically cast just to play a more progressive Snow White, had some things that she said in interviews that went completely and totally viral and resulted in a massive amount of backlash. Because,
I mean... Again, maybe I'm just fucking wired differently, but I just see this and I'm like, I shake my head and I'm like, good, very good, Disney. You're very progressive and woke and definitely don't have, like, concentration camps in China that you're working with or whatever, or funding or whatever they're doing, you know, like, it's just like it's a shake of the head, like, they're really still doing this, okay, you know, that kind of thing, and then I move on. I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I get it. Like, I'm not even disagreeing that, like. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that casting a fucking Latina lady necessarily goes against that. I think it really is the word white. I mean, it is. It's the fact that her name is Snow White, and Disney is overcorrecting, and they're being like, we can't have a white person. So they got this lady, I guess. And I just really feel bad for this actress and the fucking one who played the Little Mermaid movie, that actress, just like, man, Disney really is just hiring these fucking these people, these you know, women or whatever, any type of person, minority people that they're hiring, you know, women, minorities, any type of progressive casting shit is just entirely done. And it's like, yeah, you're gonna be the people are gonna be directing hate towards you for a long time, and this is just because you're in a movie or whatever, because you're just an actor doing the job that you were hired to do. And, like, they know that that's gonna happen, and I don't know if the actors are fucking aware of... Like, I think they're aware of it, and they're probably set up for it, but man, that's a lot of mental strain to just be dumping on your... Hey, congratulations, Ariel! Now you're gonna have to deal with people calling you a woke, horrible, blah blah blah, you know, such and such slur for the rest of your life. Enjoy! Congratulations, Ariel! Like... Man, I don't know, I do feel a little bad for these people. But then I remember how rich they are, and I stopped feeling too bad for them.
Because not only is this somebody who didn't like the movie growing up, but instead they despised it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm not coming out to bat for the Snow White movie. my thing is, I accept that it's gonna be terrible. Somebody's saying that Rachel Zegler seems like she really doesn't like the movie and all that, and yeah, no, I'm sure I'm sure it's very bad. But, like, it's gonna be bad. They're the Disney live-action movies. They're all bad. They've all been bad. To somewhat lesser degrees than others sometimes, but they're all bad. Or just average at fucking best. So, like, I just don't get how you... I mean, it's the grift. This guy's whole channel is based on this. You know, that's how, really. I say I don't get it. But that's how, is your whole channel is just, is dedicated to clowning on, you know, media, or clowning on, you know, woke whatever. And so it's like, even though most people probably would look at this and just be like, who cares, it's another live action, like, Disney movie, who gives a shit, they're all bad. This guy's bread and butter, so he's gonna scream about it.
They've been talking trash about the entire thing, talking about how they need to fix the character for modern feminism, all of this bullshit. When you really start looking at Rachel Zegler, the entire start of her career...
It's always so funny, though, where it's like these people are really super into Snow White at this point. They really can't... How dare you ruin the things that are dear to us, and me specifically, like Snow White? Does anybody... Are there Snow White fans? Like, who gives a shit? Like, this is the biggest who gives a shit for me. I almost get it with, like, The Little Mermaid. Like, yeah, they're using this movie that you liked as a kid, and they're just fucking... you know, dragging up its fucking corpse, and they're, you know, doing this whole progressive thing, and they've got fucking Melissa McCarthy in it, or whatever. Like, I get it with that. People like Little Mermaid. But who gives a shit about fucking Snow White? Why is anybody fucking mad? Oh, they're ruining the legacy of Snow White. Who cares?
Career hasn't necessarily gone well for the studios who have employed her. She's been a part of 2 big budget movies at this point in her career. One was the remake of West Side Story, which is a financial flop, and the other one was Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods, another massive disaster for Warner Brothers. And now we've got
cinematic disaster for Warner Brothers.
The woke Snow White movie that we know is going to be a problem for them. But there is one more thing that actually comes out before that. It's again part of a franchise that people have big hopes for, a big budget behind it, and they cast Rachel Zegler as their lead.
It's always about the franchises with these people. It's like with the Critical Drinker and with the heel babyface guy, like these people that won't shut up about, like, Star Wars. Like, I don't know, there are a lot of movies that you can watch that are just movies that are not part of a giant fucking corporate cock industry shoved down your throat by advertisements. Like, good God. Oh, my franchises. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of them are bad now. That's a shame. It's really a shame that people continue to give them money and go see these movies, and even though they're bad. That sucks. Maybe people should spend money and fucking support the good movies that come out, that still exist. There's still plenty of fucking good movies that exist. But Because Star Wars and fucking Alien are bad, I guess that's the end of the fucking world.
Actress, and now they have to wonder if they might be suffering the same fate. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes trailer, Rachel Zegler changes the Hunger Games forever. That's right, she's going to be in the newest Hunger Games movie, which is based on a book that wasn't very well received. It was kind of written just so they could make this movie. And no one really has any idea what to expect at the box office, but you look at the reaction for the newest trailer that just got released today, it's interesting to say the least. 1.2 million views, that's a lot of views. Not a lot of likes, though, only 20,000 likes on 1.2.
I mean, not a lot of videos get a lot of likes. I mean, that's not that out of line. If you want to point at the dislike ratio or whatever, I guess that makes sense. I love the people who fuck up their entire YouTube with this interface. Look at all this shit. Look at this shit. It, like, shows you the thumbnail, it shows you the social blade and everything, like, engagement rating. Like, just, like, gamifying the whole YouTube thing in this way. It reminds me of, like, a rice gum type of individual. Like, why do I feel like somebody like this would look at somebody criticizing them and go like, nah, you're irrelevant, you don't get enough engagement. No, my ticker here says that you're statistically not worth talking to or something. Like, I don't know, that's just kind of SEO, vidIQ SEO score. Good God. Settle down, buddy. You just talk about fucking movie trailers. You might as well be playing with Legos for a living.
Million views and 7,000 dislikes. Now, it's by no means ratioed or anything like that, like we might end up seeing for something like Snow White when it comes out. And obviously, we saw a massive ratio for something like The Little Mermaid from Disney. But people are asking the question, is what Rachel Zegler, what she's going through with Snow White, all the things she said, all the controversy she's created, is that going to affect another one of the movies that she's in?
I mean, it's hard not to look at, I don't know, it's just, you always see this where they're like, some actor or actress will come out and they'll say some stupid shit, and they're probably just like being told to say it by the fucking company or whatever. Like, most of these people are just fucking puppets. You know, and they come out and like Brie Larson says her dumbass thing about fucking 40-year-old white dudes, and then we just, like, go after them for a while, and it's just this culture war fucking thing of, like, oh, this actor said a thing! Like, who cares, though? But who gives a shit, though? I don't know, someone in chat's like, it's fun to make fun of bad things. You know, it is. But this is just, like, it's just, like, a content farm of, like, negativity and just, like, grumpiness. I don't know. It's
specifically the one that releases in November, which is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
And like I want to point out, by the way, you know, fuck this video, whatever. I want to point out this is the number of videos that this guy has put out in the last 2 days. The dude has put out 12 videos in the last fucking 2 days. And they're all the same fucking thumbnail, and they're all like, what's interesting, they're not shooting for ad revenue, apparently. Like, you'd think they'd be going for, like, an 8-minute mark. But no, they're all, like, under... None of these are over 8 minutes. That's interesting. Let's see him talk about gay Superman or whatever. It's like Superman's kissing Kobe.
One of the biggest problems in the entertainment industry is that the people that are writing these things...
You know, I actually go back to the interface, the overlay where we couldn't see as much of your face.
Whether it's TV shows...
They all have this fucking consume cave shit too, don't they? Like, they always have to have this shit. I mean, I have action figures and stuff too, but man, it's like these unopened Star Wars things and like baseballs and
or movies or comic books especially.
You didn't have a very good childhood either, did you, buddy? And I know, it's fine. Neither did I. It's okay. It's okay.
We've seen the fall of comic books over the last decade or so. The problem is that so many of these writers...
This guy is hopping mad. Yeah, he's worked up right now. He is like on a sugar high. He needs to settle down. He is buzzing.
They don't actually want to tell a good story. They just want to see themselves in these characters. They want to tell their story effectively. And it seems like over and over and over again, the activists that are in the entertainment industry and that are writing comic books are just open about that. They're open about the fact that everything in entertainment,
Oh, God. Jadzia Axelrod. Is that really your name? Is it your name is Jadzia? Is that so? Is that so? Was it you that changed your name to that, or was it your parents that doomed you to being a Trekkie for your life? Jadzia Axelrod. I guess they're trans, so they might have taken that name. I mean, Jadzia Dax is a trans icon if there ever was one, but trans writer for DC's Hot Girl series is asked about the meaning of gender identity. Superheroes are a very queer kind of story. And this sounds dumb. I guess, like, yeah, most superheroes are in the closet. Yeah, if you want to interpret it that way. This sounds like a silly way of looking at things, I don't know, but it's also just this classic, like, I don't know, I've talked about this before, the reactionary thing where you just, it's all Twitter now, you know, you see where some guy said a thing, and it's taken out of context, or even if it's in context, or the context doesn't matter, it's like, just some idiot said a stupid thing, and like, some guy is gonna point it out and be like, look how dumb they all are! Look how they all are! All of those people! Because that guy happened to be Mexican, or fucking Jewish, or, like, trans, or whatever, and they'll say something dumb, and that'll just apparently reflect on everybody. Or because that guy is white and has a beard, and is mad about Star Wars or something. I mean, it works both ways. But yeah, just the reactionary thing where you just spend like 20 minutes ranting about some fucking tweet that you found. Guys, look at this stupid tweet. What a dummy. Isn't this person dumb? I don't know, man. It's like what Ben Shapiro does, basically, where he just sits there and he picks and chooses little articles to be like, and now look at this guy. He's also stupid, and this also proves my point about the agenda or something. Like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not even gonna disagree that this is a dumb fucking take, or that this person is dumb, or maybe that they should maybe not be writing for fucking Hot Girl. I don't know, whatever. Maybe that's all true, but just this whole culture of just like, guys, but this tweet though, like, fuck, get off of fucking Twitter, dude. Jesus.
Have to see through their sexuality or whatever it may be. I thought this was interesting. Max von Priestley over here saying superheroes are a very queer kind of story. Most superheroes are in the closet. Jadzia Axelrod, trans writer for DC's Hot Girl series, is asked about the meaning of gender and identity in superhero comics. This may be the most odd view of superheroes in comics I've ever heard. When you listen to this, and her popped right up there in the video, this certainly would explain a lot, wouldn't it? About why we get some of the dog shit we get out of the comic book industry this day and age.
Superheroes are a very
but pronouns. But this is gonna explain a lot about the dog shit.
Queer kind of story, and that you have these characters who have these double lives, and one life is much more colorful and dynamic and exciting, but they also have to keep on this normal life. Most superheroes are.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This is a reasonably she's explaining the point here, and I'm like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. Yeah, you're definitely, you got the colorful life, and then you got your buttoned down regular 9-to-5 identity and all of that. I suppose I could see that. I could see where you're coming from. I guess you could certainly lean into that as a theme, honestly. But I don't know why. Maybe this guy's got a good reason why that's not acceptable.
Either literally in some cases, or in a more metaphorical way of like, I have to keep my secret identity. That's important. And so it's very relatable stuff to a queer reader. Very relatable stuff to a trans reader.
Yeah, so is this an analogy? I'm going insane! Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's an interpretation of it. It doesn't mean it has to be the interpretation of everything. It doesn't mean that you... I don't know, why is it odd? The way it seems stupid at first when you just take it out of context, but when you actually hear it, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're in, like, your colorful, rainbow-colored outfit by night, and you're out tangling with strange men in in mysterious locations. Last night, you know, you might have been in a dingy warehouse and you were beating off like 5 dudes at once. And then tomorrow, for all you know, you might be in like a super sleek techno facility where you're all tied up and you've got like lasers pointed at your genitals. Because you're going after an evil scientist and ooh la la. Like there's, I don't know, you could read a lot into it. I could definitely see that being a theme for a thing or an interpretation of it. Sure. Does that mean that has to be the interpretation of like Amazing Fantasy number 15 or whatever? No. But, you know, that's the way you can look at it, I guess. He's about to say why that's wrong and bad, though.
And even these characters, their secret identities.
Look at him hopping mad over here. He is like bouncing.
That's it. The fact that they have a secret identity, that means that it's very much inherently a queer story, because guess what? We sometimes feel like we need to hide that part of ourselves. Oh, I feel like I have an identity crisis. I feel like I sometimes don't know who I am. So that means it's a queer story. That means it's a gay story. That's why they have no problem making so many of these characters gay, because this is how they view this shit. They think.
Well, I mean, I do also think it's really dumb when they'll just take like Batman and make him kiss a guy and just be like, "Guys, Pride Month." I mean, that's just embarrassing. But that's just pandering. Again, there's no nuance with these people. It's like, yeah, we can come to some kind of a consensus and say that, you know, fucking making randomly making a character gay for no reason, just because progressivism or whatever, that's, you know, not necessarily necessary. But on the other hand, it's also like, I don't know, if their sexuality was never a huge part of their life, if you asked me what the fucking sexuality of Hawk Girl was, I'm pretty sure I would have just, I don't know, I just assume she's bisexual because every woman's bisexual, but, you know, like, I don't know, it's not really part of her fucking story, is it? So if you want to make it part of it, I guess you can. You know, I mean, it's like, if somebody's I don't know, it's another thing where it's just like, sometimes there's a lot of bad writers out there. I mean, there's also the fact of that, like, who was the fucking one who was trying to make the Starfire comic or whatever? I think it was Raven. I forget which one it was, but she was like a fat, you know, SJW looking type with like colorful fucking hair and piercings and everything, and it was like, it was a very clear like author insert character. When you saw the author, you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And that's an example of one that's kind of dumb. But I mean, like, I don't know, dog. You could just, I mean, if you're a good writer, it's fine. It's fine. Like, if you're bad and you're telling any kind of story, then you, like, I don't know. Is it so much different now to have cringy gender bullshit in your comics than it was in like the 90s to have the fucking Clone Wars? You know, readers were equally rolling their eyes and being like, I'm fucking sick of this. I'm done with this. Can we go back to the way things were before all of this started? Back in the fucking 90s, when they were getting Clone Wars and, like, Captain America was getting a stupid outfit every week and, like, fucking Invisible Woman got the boob window, you know? Like, that was, you know, there have been a lot of times in comic books or whatever where you can point to where audiences were like, okay, we're sick of this. The writing is reaching a low point. The fucking writing is bad. So, like, the complaint is that the writing is bad. It really doesn't... It shouldn't matter necessarily that it's woke. I mean, you know, the wokeness is like a symptom. If you're a good writer and you have some kind of theme in there that's, like, something, then, you know, you might really have something there. But your real complaint is that just the standards for who is being hired in the industry are pretty low. And in a lot of cases, it probably is like an affirmative action type of thing of like, you know, we gotta hire this person for diversity over one of these other 15 more qualified people who, you know, that kind of thing. And there is this like, there is also, I mean, again, there is also this general thing of like, we're gonna deconstruct the genre of fucking Peppa Pig or whatever. Like, we're making a reboot of this thing. And we're gonna it's not gonna be your grandpa's thing. We're gonna deconstruct it and critically analyze it and intersectionalize it or whatever. I mean, that happens. But again, that's only a problem when it's bad. You know, when it's good, it's you don't even notice it, really. But this guy is just really upset with the fact that some people in this industry have a different interpretation of things, or might have their own perspective on things, I guess.
I think that a secret identity inherently makes something relatable to queer people. They have to view it through their fucking lens.
I mean, can't you attempt to view it through any lens other than your own, though? Can't you look at anything in the world through any perspective other than just your own, you know, perspective? Because, I mean, you don't seem to be able to even entertain the possibility of this. I mean, this is a person who is, you know, one of the alphabet people or whatever, if you want to say that. And they're telling you, you know, the way that they view this thing. And you're just, like, dismissing that as stupid. And being like, you just have to view things through your perspective! I don't know, man. That might be a little bit hypocritical, dude.
Bodies are frequently mutable in superhero comics, which is something I love. So, like, all of this stuff was already in there when I read them, whether it was intended or not. So to tell a story where all of this stuff is not just subtext, but literally...
I mean, like, but I could definitely see somebody reading, like, somebody who's gay, or, you know, they've got trans stuff going on, you know, they're reading, like, Spider-Man or whatever back in, you know, whenever, when they were a kid. I mean, time independent of it, even if it was, like, the 70s or whatever, you would have read Spider-Man, and you certainly might have read it and been like, oh, yeah, this is... Yeah, I wish I could escape my identity of just being like buttoned down good boy for Aunt May who doesn't get in trouble and toes the line and is respectful to everybody, and you know I could be, you know, I could grow my hair out and dye my hair a weird color, and if I was socially acceptable I would drape myself in velvet and, you know, maybe kiss dudes or whatever. Like, I could definitely see people looking at that and having that interpretation, but this fellow just won't look at that at all.
What's going on?
Yeah, whether it was intended or not, guess what? It wasn't. It was never intended. It's a story that's supposed to appeal to everybody, but it has to be viewed through this inherently queer lens
By the way,
by so many of these fucking activists.
Why are we on 480p?
This is...
we needed to see his beautiful face here in, like, quality.
It's not just solely in comic books, in the comic book industry. These people exist in the She-Hulk writing room. These people exist in the Ring...
Oh, they really hate She-Hulk, dude. I mean, I get it. She-Hulk is probably the worst MCU thing. I mean, She-Hulk is, I think, now that I'm thinking about it actually as I say that, I think She-Hulk is, without question, the first genuinely bad piece of MCU media. I mean, everything else has been, like, just really painfully mediocre at best. I mean, at worst, rather, like Thor 2 or whatever. And then every now and then there's a movie that's actually pretty good and, you know, has some interesting stuff going on. But yeah, I think, I would say She-Hulk is genuinely the first that is just absolutely rancid from beginning to end. Just a complete failure. And if you are a fan of She-Hulk, I guess it would be fair to be upset about what happened, what they did to your girl. Because She-Hulk is pretty cool in the comics, and that's unfortunate. It's kind of like how I feel about Moon Knight. Moon Knight's great. I really was looking forward to that show until I saw it. And then they had... And I hate to be all like... I hate to be like Dogs Eating Dog 6 talking about the Peter Griffin episode... The Peter Griffin pirate action in the Family Guy episode. But, like, that whole fucking show, that whole Moon Knight show had, like, maybe a total of 2 minutes of him in the actual Moon Knight suit. Actually, like, running around doing Moon Knight things. And then the rest of it was just bumblefuck Oscar Isaac. It was really lame and boring. So, like, that was also unfortunate. The She-Hulk show, I mean, that was, like, kind of bad, but the She-Hulk show is genuinely awful. So I can see being upset about it. But it's been a while, and people are still mad about the She-Hulk show. I don't think anybody's really defended the She-Hulk show. That's the funny thing. Is like, I mean, you know, it's like everybody, these people are acting as if She-Hulk is like, oh, they're the modern woke media, they're trying to turn it all into She-Hulk. No, I don't think so. I think She-Hulk is proof that people don't want this. Just like Velma. I mean, even these people didn't really point to Velma that much as, like, a thing to... Because Velma was, like, unilaterally hated by everyone. Across the board. Like, we kumbaya'd on that shit. We joined fucking hands in a fucking circle. And we all just, everybody, right-wing, left-wing, libertarian, fucking communist, everybody just did a fucking... It was the end of Ocarina of Time. We all did a fucking dance. And just shat on Velma. That was one where it didn't actually... It was funny. That was so fucking heavily politicized that nobody took the bait. It was great. It was a great... That was a really great show. But She-Hulk was just slightly... Just not quite far enough, I guess, and a lot of people did take the bait.
Of the power writing room. These people are all over Hollywood. These ideologues, these activists who just...
Velma could have achieved world peace, goddammit. Well, hey, there's still season 2.
Help themselves, but have to see themselves and everything and view every single fucking choice through this queer lens, through whatever, whether it's racial, whatever it may be. That's what the modern day writing industry has been all about. Right now, a lot of these people are out there picketing and striking for more money from Hollywood. They're part of the problem. It's been the downfall of the entertainment industry.
Yeah, see, this is the problem, is you've got people are like, you know, what is, you know, this guy's not, he's technically not hurting anybody or anything, but it's like, you see this, and you see this guy going, yeah, those writers don't deserve more money, and it's like, well, yeah, there's a lot of them that are bad, I'm sure, but that's such a pea-brained opinion to have, sir. To be like, those fucking striking workers, they don't deserve any benefits because there was a bad writer on She-Hulk. Like, are you fucking out of your mind? What's wrong with you? What a fucking idiot. God. Oh god, that's so fucking stupid. Bane says we should become a Velma watch-along podcast. I mean, shit, I would watch it, I guess, for the podcast, sure. We could do that. Yeah, I mean, if you want to. If Tristan's on board for it. I don't think we need to do a full episode for, like a full episode of the podcast for every episode of the show, but we could watch it and just talk about it or something. Velma almost had the internet come together, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into what this guy probably thinks about workers and unions in general, so.
But when you hear things like this, you just can't help but laugh at the clear explanation as to why the comic book industry and so much of entertainment is the way that it is.
Well, that's not the reason that it is the way that it is. Fucking Western comics are being outsold in their entirety by Demon Slayer, and I think also probably One Piece in their entirety, just by those two, just by them, by at least just Demon Slayer. I think last year it outsold all of the Western comics industry, Marvel and DC, and like fucking Image and everything probably included. One Piece probably also did. And that's not because they're not woke or whatever, it's because the Western comics industry is a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking shambles of bullshit. It's just you know, I used to read modern comics for a little bit. Well, no, I mean, I didn't, because most of them are kind of crap, but, like, you know, every now and then there's some good ones, you know, obviously. Obviously, every now and then there's good anything. There's good comic book artists and stuff and writers today. They still exist, but, you know, a lot of the stuff that you see is garbage. I used to read the Marvel Unlimited app, and I had, I mostly read stuff from, like, the 80s, some stuff from the 90s, the 70s I liked. I liked older stuff. I liked the art style more. I like the writing a little more in, like, well, before it's... I like the modern comics when they aren't preachy and annoying, when they're actually just being a little more interesting and an avant-garde. That's cool. The writing is a little too simple in, like, 70s, 80s comics. I mean, 80s it gets a little better. Some of the, like, Chris Claremont X-Men stuff is great. The point is, I mostly stayed away from newer comics, for the most part, because one trend that I noticed that was really fucking annoying was anytime these fucking movies would come out, or TV shows or whatever, I think I was reading them a lot when I was, around, like, when WandaVision was happening and stuff like that. These shows would come out, and they would just start making fucking new lines of comics and be like, here's Falcon and Winter Soldier comic that's awkwardly stapling these two characters together that are not the characters from the MCU, but because those two have a TV show, we're just gonna throw them together and kind of make it work and be kind of similar to the thing. It's weird. It's like an adaptation of a movie adaptation of a thing. They do that a lot. So they'll milk the movies that are coming out that are already milking existing comics. It's like when I used to think that they should make a Sonic X game when half of that fucking show was just them fucking reenacting the games. But like they would do that. So there's a lot of reasons that aren't just wokeness. There's the fucking ridiculous continuity of this shit. There's all sorts of fucking reasons why the Western comics industry is fucking failing. It has nothing to do, I mean, well, no, it has partially it is probably a little bit, as I'm not gonna lie to you, it probably has a little bit to do with the wokeness. That's probably an element of it, most likely. But it's not the biggest element, and it's certainly not the only element. This is RK Outpost. I mean, there's other people like this. Is there another guy who's like this, who's like one of these type of thumbnail people? Chat, name me like an obscure bad one. Don't name me like, what's his name, Nerdrotic or whatever. Don't name me like Heel Babyface or this guy, whatever. Well, don't name me this guy because we're looking at this guy. That'd be fucking stupid. Give me a guy who's like this, who maybe I haven't heard of, or who's, you know, a specifically bad one. Mr. Penis? You know what? Just for you, chat member, I'm gonna look up Mr. Penis. Hang on. Mr. Penis. Mr. Penis! The Misadventures of Mr. Penis. Lorne Armstrong, Mr. Penis.
A flame in your heart, my...
Oh, file. Pedophile.
Oh. Well, I guess whoever that is... I clicked on this because... this was the thumbnail, but, Mr. Penis, yeah, I don't know about that. Well, the quartering, no. Penis hell, no. The Synthetic Man is just a joke, that's just joking around. Vito Gesualdi, I think I've seen him. Vito Gesualdi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is... Yeah, okay, this is one of these. Yeah. Wait! Oh! Oh, so close! I clicked on his channel, and his top video here, Rise of Skywalker, a complete cinematic, and I saw that, and then it said failure. I thought it would say disaster. He could have been so close. It could have been beautiful. He could have said it was a cinematic disaster, but he didn't. So his video's here. He's talking about, you know, Aquaman, Blue Beetle movie. Oh, fucking another Snow White video. Jesus Christ. How Barbie destroyed the haters. He's got a Barbie review, but he looks like he likes Barbie. Wait, he does. He likes Barbie. You know, this guy doesn't count. This guy's videos look like they count. It's kind of the same. It looks like the same type of thumbnails, but I don't know if that guy counts. That guy's not quite the same thing. He's not anti-woke or whatever. I mean, his videos might also be funny, I suppose. What? We could look at the Barbie video. What does he have to say? Because it does have a pretty bad... It has a pretty negative ratio here. I mean, he got somewhat ratioed here. Barbie is a fun, funny, smart, and beautiful movie. This has made a number of idiotic fake movie critics very mad. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I mean, I more or less agree. It's got some issues.
Review the Barbie movie. You would think it would not be that hard, but it is. This is a tremendously hard video for me to make, because
I didn't want to make this video, guys.
Honestly, there's a lot of emotions inside of me right now, and one emotion I'm trying not to let control me is anger. And you say, Vito, what are you talking about? Why would you be angry? Why would you be mad at the Barbie movie? Well, I'm not mad.
See, I can't talk about this guy. I can't make any jokes about him because he has a link on his fake desktop backdrop here that says "Burn PS2 freeware." This guy's based. I don't know. This guy might be perfectly based. I don't know why I don't know. We need more. There was a guy that I looked at one point who made a really funny review about the Joker movie. I forget what his name was, but he was like foreign and he was talking about the liberals, and I forget what his name was. Does anybody remember who it was? I think he was like French, and he was going off about how he hates the liberals or something, and it was like a Joker review. Do you remember this channel? Look at the Fourth Age. The Fourth Age. Oh. Oh, baby. Baby. Well, this might be a good one. This might be a good one. This might be a very good one. So, the future is not female over here with the Wolverine. And then this one is about a defense of heels versus babyface. As doesn't go far enough. The mythos of Spider-Man. Again, these people who won't let their toys go. Something about straight white males. Glory in your suffering. Progressive heroes have no character. The weakness of wokeness. The fourth turning in entertainment. Boy, this doesn't seem like it's probably a thing at all. Guy's got like a fucking coat of arms up here. I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're just an Odinist, bro. You're not a white supremacist or anything. You're just an Odinist, or something. I'm sure. I'm sure it's something like that. Probably. Let's click on this. This is the newest one.
Hey, how you doing? This is RJ. So today I'm going to talk about a broad topic, even though it has sort of simple origins. It's basically why female-led entertainment is leading to the downfall of entertainment. And really, the reasons for this are quite...
And ever since my wife left me, I've had a lot of time to ruminate on this fact.
They are, number one, female-led entertainment is ubiquitous right now. It is everywhere. And number two, which is connected to number one, it is everywhere because it is seen as the way to do things.
That's right, chat member. The West has fallen. Sound your alarms. The West has fallen, everybody. The West fell again. Every fucking time a movie comes out, the fucking West has fallen. God damn it.
The right way, or the good way to make entertainment. And C, men and women are different. Therefore, with such entertainment, you're ignoring basically...
Oh, this guy makes comics too, I guess. Is this his comic? The Fourth Age, and there's a comic, and it's $25 fucking dollars? What the fuck? I guess. I think this is his comic. I mean, the art's nice, I suppose.
Half of the entire audience. And of course, this all leads into what I'm always talking about, not just bad entertainment, but bad versions of the heroic ideal. But if you want some good entertainment with good heroic characters, you should check out one of my 3 graphic novels. Links for those are in the description.
Bro, you're just selling your fucking comics to us. I mean, okay.
And the pinned comment. I have 2 superhero graphic novels. You can pick up both of those at the Valiant Heroes Indigo.
Well, I mean, if this is your art, I'll give you... I don't know if this is your art or whose art it is. It's nice art. It's pretty good art. You seem to be a good artist. I'll give you that much.
Page, or you can order my Return to Form for Low Fantasy at Crom the...
Yeah, but, like, who the fuck is paying $25 for this shit? I mean, I don't know. It says 1. If you're talking about comics, I'm thinking like a, 15-page comic book, like Spider-Man or some shit. I don't know. Like, that's like usually $5 or something. I mean, maybe this is like a manga. Even those are like 15 or something. Or like, that's Canadian. I don't know, $25 for this? Really? Come on now.
They are...
That's American. I think that's 30. It said like 30 Canadian. Look at the giant gazongas. Look at those... Look at them breasting boobily right there.
Turn to the traditional way of making a story that should appeal to everyone.
The traditional way, a blonde-haired lady in front of a pagoda. That's very very authentic.
The superhero graphic novels are based around the idea of a true hero.
Yeah, is this just AI art? Because, well, I probably not, because the other one, I mean, this might be. This might be. This looks like AI. This looks like an AI bitch. This looks like you typed in AI, draw me AI titty lady porn on your AI, and it just came out with this. But also, she's a superhero. You have to type that in, too. The fucking barbarian dickhead, though. And, like, the other stuff here. This says 2021. We got, is this, like, shitty X-Men? What the fuck is this? Is this supposed to be a ripoff? So now, but now I'm looking at this, and, like, so this is, like, a Mystique meets Beast with, like, Wolverine hair. We got just Batman down here. We got just, like, a fucked up Batman, I guess. And I guess this is the lady that's the sexy boob lady who breasted boobily, in AI. I mean, it looks like AI, kind of, but maybe he just drew this? It kind of looks, it looks more anime than the style on the covers.
Return to the traditional way of making a story that should appeal to everyone. The superhero graphic novels are based around
It's not AI. I mean, this might be, but this looks like the same character from the other thing. He maybe trained an AI to do that character, but he... These say, oh, motherfucker. God damn it. God,
hey,
good for me.
How you doing?
Hey! Good for me. These, this one says, Coom the Barbarian here, or whatever, says it's, well, okay, this one doesn't say the date, but this one says summer 2021, so that was kind of before you could do, really, a whole bunch in the way of AI art that was, like, this quality. So I don't think these were AI, but the booby lady looks like AI.
Novels are based around the idea of a true hero, the low fantasy around death and honor, and it's just pure good storytelling and entertaining fun.
Well, that's coming from you, the author, sir, so why would you not tell me that it's good storytelling?
So if any of that looks or sounds appealing to you at all, because you're looking at some of the art for those graphic novels in the background, then click on those links in the description and go on over and see if my graphic novels are for you. But back to my topic. And you might be...
I mean, you know, the art looks pretty nice. I'll give him that. It looks like good comic book art. You know, I gotta give him that. If it's not made by an AI, which I don't think it is, it looks like good comic book art. You gotta give him that.
Asking yourself, why am I thinking about this topic this week? Well, it's because that meme is going around about women who are asking men, how often do you think about Rome? And they're getting shocked by the answer when...
Bitch, what? What the fuck? What? Oh god, the West is Oh my god, Lois, the West is falling all over again. This is just like that time that fucking Spider-Man movie came out and Mary Jane was black. Oh my god, Lois.
They're being told...
What about Rome? What the fuck are you talking about?
How often do you think about Rome? And they're getting shocked by the answer when they're being told no more than once a week, usually, something like that. Women have no concept of this whatsoever. And there have been a number of videos done by people who I actually watch, and they bring up some very interesting facts, or at the very least, some very interesting questions. Richard over at Comics Matter said men think about Rome because we like these very intricate, interconnected world systems. That's also why we like stuff like the Marvel Universe.
Rome? What the fuck are you talking about? Like the fucking fall of Rome? Rome? Like, what the fuck?
But back to my topic. And you might be asking yourself, why am I thinking about this topic this week? Well, it's because that meme is going around about women who are asking men...
This is a meme. This is a meme, apparently. Women are asking men what they think of Rome. That's a meme? Okay. Okay, and this guy... Turn that into this schizo rant. Okay.
How often do you think about Rome? And they're getting shocked by the answer when they're being told no more than once a week, usually, something like that. Women have no concept of this whatsoever. And there have been a number of videos done by people who I actually watch, and they bring up some very interesting...
Wait, so the meme is they ask men how often they think about Rome, and then the men are like, oh, maybe once a week. And the joke is the joke that it's weird to think about it that often, because I do not think about Rome unless it's brought up or I'm like playing the fucking PS2 game fucking Gladius or whatever. I'm not really thinking about Rome. No. No.
Facts.
Not personally. Not me.
Or at the very least, some
It ain't
very
me.
interesting questions. Richard over at Comics Matter said men think about Rome because we like these very intricate, interconnected world systems. That's also why we like stuff like the Marvel Universe, or you have...
Okay, so Rome is an interconnected world? You mean like history? What the fuck are you talking about?
Carl over at the Lotus...
You mean you like history? Because is this what you mean? What the fuck? I mean, I think I understand. Men are, I guess, into history. I think women are too. But okay, all right, sure. Men are into history. There's a lot of Civil War reenactors or whatever. Sure, okay, and that's that leads to being into comics. Okay, I gotcha. Rome, though, okay.
Peters, he did an interesting conversation with Shadversity about this, and they went back to it's because men are object-oriented, therefore we're looking for how to utilize objects, and we do that through going into the past, look at how people did it before. And while I agree with what has been said in both of those videos to some extent, I don't think it goes back to the very origin of the reason
Why are we looking at random shots of fucking Batman covers or whatever?
For this. I would say all of that has been brought up in those other videos, and the reason why men and women think about or don't think about certain subjects, i.e. why men think about Rome.
I mean, I like that we're not even talking about films anymore. This was supposed to be a film-related stream, but now we're just kind of into comic books. I mean, you know, it's general criticism, people. Yeah, it's
women
fine.
Don't, and I'm sure women think about things that men don't think about, is because it is ingrained in the basic principles of a human being, and I will bring that back to both biological and psychological and human nature, all three together. And by the way, when I say psychological, I'm thinking more of the ancient way of incorporating a psyche into a person, not really.
Oh god, this is another one of these fucking pseudo-intellectuals. They all have to be like this,
The
don't
movement together in a much more comprehensive way than women can, because we've done so since the time we could first see. We have to do so. And sequential art is all about shapes and movement. And aside from that, the movement that takes place between the sequences of the art, which your mind has to fill in. By the way, I talk a lot about that kind of thing on my Wednesday live streams.
Wow, I don't even care, dude. Do you have another one that's funny, or should we just move on? I think we might just need to move on. This guy, women are destroying science fiction. Why you hate multiverse stories. This movie isn't for you. Okay. Alright, I just watched this movie, and we got Trump as the Punisher down here. This is a great channel, chat. I mean, it's funny. It's the woke are deviant and insane rant. It's funny because we just watched some of this and it was kind of boring and not interesting, but also these fucking titles and the thumbnails though. Damn, progressivism is degeneracy. I gotta click on the Spider-Verse one, man.
Hey, how you doing? This is RJ. So today I'm going to be talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And why? Well, because in doing the research for my last video, which was about meta-modernism, I ran across an interview with the three directors of this movie. And no, I don't think it's the interview that most people have posted on their social media talking about the fans. This seems to be a separate interview done by Marvel.com, and it is audio only. And I will put a link for it in the description. But within this interview, these directors talk about presenting Miles Morales as a new type of hero. And since my channel is all about the traditional idea of hero, well, of course, I'm going to do a video on it. But before that, if anyone wants a...
Yeah, buy my comics! Fuck you! Cool, very good comics, very good comics.
As I said, I found those links in the description and going over and see if my graphic novels are for you. So, as I said, I'm going to talk about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, right up front, I'll let you know, this is not in any way a movie review. I'm not even going to talk about the movie as a analysis of it as a piece of entertainment. I'm going to talk about this movie as an analysis of it as a piece of media and how that factors into this new idea of hero that these directors are trying to incorporate.
Stop rising above your fucking station, dude. See, play with your toys and shut up. Jesus Christ.
As part of the central theme of the movie itself. And as usual, I do that by looking not only at the movie and what happens.
Somebody in chat says, is this about race or woman? But they say woman with a Q. Kuman. So.
In it, but also
I don't know, it could be about both. Maybe both race and woman. They did make Jessica Drew black, so, you know.
Why the movie exists, how it exists, what the creators of this movie actually intended to do, etc.
Oh, I don't think it's an
So
AI
let's start
voice.
with the big picture. And the big picture is a push for Miles Morales to become a more central figure within the Marvel heroes. Now, this isn't anything new. Over at Marvel Entertainment and Marvel Comics, they've been trying to re-establish these new heroes as the
They
central...
have been doing this for fucking the history of comic books, man. If you've been reading... I am not a huge comic book fan. I got into some of it, and I've read some, but, like... You're like a comic book guy. This is your career. You should be well fucking aware that they have been pushing new heroes since, like, the 70s. Since the 60s. That's what Spider-Man was. That's what fucking Peter Parker Spider-Man was. Was just Marvel had a hit and they were like, oh shit, Spider-Man everywhere, Spider-Man. Put him in everything. TV show, whatever. That's what it was. And the whole entire history of these companies is just, this is the new 52. Here's a new cool character. Here's Speedball. You guys remember Speedball? Like, they've been doing this forever, but you only care now that they're black.
Figures for their entire line, whether it be within the comics or within other types of media, for quite some time now. They tried to make Captain Marvel the flagship character for Marvel, but that failed severely. They kept on...
Again, it failed severely because the writing for Captain Marvel was terrible, and they did Civil War II, and she was a horrendous Karen, and it was god-awful. But it wasn't because... I mean, Captain Marvel, when she was Miss Marvel, I think people generally liked her. I think it's really, from what I remember hearing from people, it's generally, I've heard it's like, it's really unfortunate. Because, like, Miss Marvel was cool for, like, years, and she was, like, Tony Stark, kind of. She had, like, alcoholism shit. She had a lot of, like, drama in her life. And then they made her a rad femme with that haircut, and she was a Karen for a little while, and she bossed around the Marvel Universe and was like, do you even know who I am? And they all just kind of, everybody just kind of said, sorry, ma'am, and did what she asked them to do for a little while, until people got annoyed with that, and then they stopped. And that's, again, that's more down to the writing than anything. I don't know. That's not, I mean, there's an element of an agenda, but it's kind of just a thing that people are falling back on when they're, you know, a hack fraud.
Having to reboot the title and still have to reboot the title every couple of years. They tried to put her into the major Hollywood blockbuster movies by sandwiching this movie of hers in between the two movies that everybody just wanted to see, and still, this character does not catch. So, transferring the mantle over to her as the flagship character did not seem to work. And so, they moved on to try to do a similar thing with Miss Marvel. And I covered this on my channel a couple of years ago. There was a thing which I refer to as the Marvel Rising Initiative. The central character for that was Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. They started to use the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel symbol, which is sort of like a lightning bolt, as the de facto...
Yeah, so they pushed a character. Again, they've been doing this for fucking years and years, and you only notice it now that you're either an adult or... you know, that you're terminally online and constantly looking for things to fit your political thing. Because it's now a thing where these people are like, why won't they stop injecting politics into everything? And it's like, they kind of inject it into places where it isn't really, where there isn't a lot of politics in that place, but they'll sure read it into things sometimes. That's pretty common.
Symbol for Marvel on most of their website and podcasts and things like that. They, of course, have made a show for this character, and she will be appearing within one of the movies fairly soon.
Yeah, and when they eventually realize that nobody gives a shit about fucking Miss Marvel, like, they're gonna stop pushing her in things, I'm sure. Or she'll be successful in one of those things eventually, maybe. I mean, you know, again, sometimes they do this. They tried to fucking make Ironheart a thing, and I don't think that landed with anybody, really.
Again, this character is a failed character that never catches. However, if the people over at Marvel and at Disney really are good at anything, they're supremely good at being rats that jump from sinking ship to sinking ship. And so, they have now jumped over from those two characters I mentioned to Miles Morales.
Oh no, what the fuck does that mean? They're still making a fucking... What? They're still making the Miss Marvel, like, movie with all of them. I think the TV show is still happening, and that happened after the first... What are you even talking about? What the fuck? The first Miles Morales movie was in 2018. Which is, like, before the fucking Captain Marvel movie came out, or Miss Marvel show, or the Avengers game with Miss Marvel, or any of this shit. And Miles Morales existed before that, too, for, like, over a decade, I think. Or around a decade. It was, like, 2010, I think. Maybe 8 years or so. So he's been around for a while. This isn't, like, a new thing. You only are just aware of him now because, well... reasons.
Morales, again, was a failing character within the comics. They kept on trying to make him Spider-Man, and then they had to go back and say, no, this is Miles Morales Spider-Man, because people don't want to give up Peter Parker as Spider-Man. However, he did gain some traction within the video games that they put him in, and that led into making a movie that was centered around this character, which would be the first part of this trilogy.
Well, I'm pretty sure they were already fucking making that movie before they... What the fuck? They were making that movie for probably years. When did the Spider-Man game? That was like 2018 or something as well, I think. I think that was around then, 2019 or something. So it was like a while ago. So, and Miles was in that. And that came out like nearly around the same time that this movie did. So, what do you fucking mean? Like they just materialized that because Miles was popular? What? No, this was probably planned for a bit, and then both the game, the Miles Morales game where he starred in it on his own was kind of bad. I didn't like that, but the original Spider-Man game with Miles Morales in it was good. He was good in it. In the game, it was good, and his role in it was good, and you know he was an enjoyable character, and I liked him. And then he was good in the movie too. So like, It's like. Who cares if they're pushing characters when they're likable and fun?
Which is Spider-Man into the Spider-Man.
But you're also just wrong. He's just giving us, like, wrong facts. He's giving us false, alternative facts a little bit. And telling us that, like, oh, they pushed out a movie because he was popular in a game. It's like, no, those came out around the same time, I think. I mean, certainly if there was a gap between them, it wasn't long enough for them to have just... conceived of one entirely based on the popularity of the other. So they were both just they were concurrent.
And although that movie...
That's probably why people like him now, is because there was a wave of Miles Morales, two things that were both pretty good with him. So yeah, that's just understandable. That's just the way it fucking works. It's like, they're pushing characters. They made a character that people like, that they connect with, who is fun and enjoyable and has good movies that everybody likes. How dare they be pushing these characters? Nobody likes Miles. What the fuck? Nobody likes him. This is so stupid.
Didn't do very well as compared with other Marvel movies. And yes, I know it's a Sony movie instead of directly being a Marvel movie. It did well enough for Marvel Comics to start pushing this character more and more.
I gotta say, the worst fucking part of this movie was every time they tried to wedge Sony bullshit into it. Like, they have a part where, I guess spoilers, they have a part where, like, multiple different versions of the Uncle Ben death scene or something like it are shown, and they have a shot of, it's just the Andrew Garfield movie where Uncle Ben dies, and he's like grabbing his hand, and it's like a close-up of it, and it's really bad. There's a part where a character goes to the Venom universe and talks to like his like Asian lady who works at a convenience store that Venom talks to in like a fucking scene or something. I don't know. That was the worst part of that movie. Just every time I'm like, oh right, right, this movie is here but for the grace of Sony. I forgot. Right, yeah.
And we just went through about a year of them trying to make every central character within the Marvel Comics Miles Morales in this sort of what-if context. As
oh yeah, I gotta
Miles Morales
gotta prepare things for Madam Web movie. That's right.
Etc. Now, these books were soundly ridiculed by people who have any kind of knowledge of good comics, but again, they pushed forward within this second.
We
what
was
went
ridiculed?
through about a year of them trying to make every central character within the Marvel Comics Miles Morales in this sort of what-if context. As what if Miles Morales was Thor? What if Miles Morales was the Hulk?
That's kind of dumb.
Etc.
What if that came before? Yeah, I mean, they cash in on popularity of shit. That's what they do. It sucks. That's why I stopped reading Marvel comics. Because like it's just this it's like a content farm of trash. They just the new Thor's coming out. Pump out a new Thor #1 issue that resets the fucking continuity, and it's like vaguely tied to the movie, or worse, it's just completely tied to like random other shit that you don't know about unless you've read 70 years of comic books. Like, no fucking wonder the whole fucking industry is outsold by like one single manga in Japan. No wonder. It's not just because the fucking writing is kind of questionable. It's because the whole fucking thing is ridiculous at this point. And you know what's so funny too is watching reviews of good review, like from channels that I like, you know, watching a review of like I think I saw, who was it? I think it was Amanda the Jedi. I don't really watch her that much anymore. I used to watch her a little bit more, but I kind of stopped for a while. But I saw her talk about, like, I think it was Blue Beetle or something like that. She was talking about like multiverse fatigue, I think it was. And it was like talking about how like, well, now this multiverse stuff is happening and it's retconning stuff and bringing in new questions and it all just feels lazy. And I'm just hearing this and I'm like, wow, this sounds like everything in comic books. I'm glad that the comic book movies finally adapted the feeling of reading comic books and being like, wait, what? What the fuck? What the fuck? Gwen Stacy had sex with Norman Osborn? What the fuck? You just read that and you're like, oh, they just ruined 40 years of continuity or something because this is all one stupid fucking ongoing story that just never ends or goes anywhere. It's the most elaborate episode of The Simpsons ever. It's just the status quo always has to go back to Peter Parker working at the fucking Daily Bugle for some reason. Because nobody can grow up and he can't have a wife and he can't get a job or anything. And so they just keep doing like #1 issue of fucking Spider-Man and it's all canon, but none of it matters, but it all does matter sometimes and you have to remember some of it at times. It's like, no fucking wonder this whole entire comic book industry is like a joke now. Like, yeah, I can't imagine why. I just can't imagine why.
Now, these books were soundly ridiculed by people who have any kind of knowledge of good comics, but again, they pushed forward within this second movie because they knew it was going to be a trilogy to begin with, the second movie being Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and it has done fairly well. I think it is the second biggest opening box office for an animated movie. So, you're going to see a lot more of this.
Wait, what is Paul? You mean the movie Paul? Isn't that the one with the alien with like Seth Rogen or whatever? Or is it? Or I think Simon Pegg is in that one. Is it Seth Rogen? I don't know. Is that the one? Is it? You want me to rant about that movie? What do you mean Paul? Who's Paul?
Jumping on to Let's Make Miles Morales.
Oh, the Spider-Man character? Oh, is that the one that like Mary Jane's cucking Peter with? Yeah, I mean the whole Spider-Man canon is a body bag survival guide. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. It's garbage. Maybe that's another thing. Maybe people want Miles because there's less baggage. Maybe people are like, yeah, I can read a Miles Morales story. It can't be that crazy at this point, right? Like, it can't be as crazy as Peter Parker at this point, who's like perpetually 25 or whatever and has been every job. But also, just like his whole life sucks, and they just, God, God. Oh God, yeah, no, maybe people want, that's a legit reason I'm thinking. Cause like, they've been ruining Peter Parker's life since before the woke epidemic or whatever the fuck. They've been ruining that fucking guy's life since like 2005. Ever since they did that One More Day shit. And then they were like, yeah, well, and it's Mary Jane too. They fucking can't stand Mary Jane. The Marvel editorial people have hated Mary Jane since like the fucking 80s. I don't think they ever wanted him and Peter and Mary Jane. I don't think they ever wanted them to get married. But like Stan Lee put that in his fucking newspaper strip comic or something. So they were like, well, I guess we have to fucking do it. So they made Peter and MJ get married, and they've always been looking for like a way out. And so in like 2006, they had the dumbest fucking idea ever. Go watch a video about it. It's hilarious. Watch Comic Pop talk about it. Or Comic Tropes is also good. But fucking, yeah, worst comic ever. And ever since then, they've basically kept Spider-Man in the cut cage, where like MJ is like dating other guys, and Peter's like trying to date like Black Cat or whatever, and it never really works out. And sometimes they kind of tease that they'll get back together because all of the readers like Mary Jane, because for the past like fucking 30 years people have had Mary Jane and in movies and TV shows and stuff, and they've grown up with her and they like her more than Gwen Stacy, who's people like her now because of these movies. People are into Gwen Stacy again, but Mary Jane, like, fucking Marvel hates her, and so by fucking over Peter and MJ's happy married life, by proxy, they've just fucked over Peter for fucking decades. I mean, it's like it is all approaching like 2 decades. Almost, that they've been doing this. If not, it is 2 decades. They've probably been doing little shit like this for a long time. But yeah, no. Fucking, I don't know if that's even the character. I went off on this rant entirely unrelated to any of that. I don't know if Paul is the one that's fucking Mary Jane. I just know that a lot of people got mad because Peter was getting cucked by MJ, or not cucked really, but like she was fucking another guy, and he was sad about it. And it was like a whole thing. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, no, legitimately, I bet people just want to read Miles Morales stories now. If anything, because they're like, oh fuck, thank God I can just read a Spider-Man story. And I don't have to deal with like the ridiculous soap opera, the worst soap opera that's ever been made about Peter Parker and his miserable little life led by Marvel's editorial staff. There's a little bit of hope that Miles Morales won't be ruined like that. The youth, they don't realize that it'll happen to him too. Oh, I think I realized it now. Yeah, that's why Miles is popular. Oh, yeah, it's because Peter fucking sucks now. It's because Peter hasn't been allowed to be cool for since I've been alive or something. Yeah, maybe that's why.
Universe. And of course, retire Peter Parker. And of course, make sure that Spider-Gwen is attached.
Paul was the guy who fucked Mary Jane. All right, well, yes. I mean, and I think Peter's done probably other things as well, you know. They aren't really together. But people, it's just weird because, like, the fans really like MJ, I think. Like, especially now, she used to be annoying. When I was reading the fucking original run of Spider-Man comics, God, Mary Jane was an annoying fucking character in those. You ever read, like, the original comics that MJ shows up in? And she is just the most insufferable swingin' daddy-o hepcat! And every fucking thing she says has, like, slang in it from the 60s. And it's just awful. She's awful. She's so bad. She's really annoying, actually, in the Raimi movies, too. I mean, I grew up with those, and so I have a fondness, but if you actually look at the relationship between Peter and Mary Jane in the Sam Raimi movies, I mean, that is an unbelievably bad relationship. It's so unhealthy. Between both of them, they're both awful. They're both just awful people. But, like, oh yeah, and she's kind of a bitch in the PS4 game. Yeah, never mind, actually, fuck Mary Jane. Never mind.
So that's a little bit about the character and what is going on behind that. Now let's look at the type of movie this movie is. Now, as I said in my last video, this is a example par excellence of this new type of quote-unquote progressive media called meta-modernism. Now, if you want to hear a much more deep conversation about meta-modernism and where it comes from, go and listen to my video from last week.
Oh, I'm sure it was a real deep conversation. I'm sure the Chinese are to blame or something. I don't know.
I will link that in the description, and it will be linked at the end of this video as well. So, what is meta-modernism, very briefly, and where does it come from? Well, traditionally, for thousands of years in Western civilization, mankind was seen as existing as a composite whole of physical reality, spiritual reality, and abstract.
We're getting into Western civilization, everybody. Sound the fucking alarm. The West fell again. The West has fallen again. Guys, the West has fallen. How could this happen to me? Why did the West fall again? No!
But modernism came in and culturally really took over somewhere between the 1920s and the 1960s and said, no, we're going to concentrate on just the physical reality of human existence and jettison this whole idea of A, spirituality, and B, abstract thought. And so culturally, you get a lot of these stories that are based only on the physical. Of course,
they really need to fucking stop. I mean, this is a great stream, though, because it's a mix of, we were looking at the fucking, we were looking at the... This is why I don't like the Smurfs too! We were looking at a little bit of that earlier, but now we're looking at the complete opposite spectrum of retardation, which is the pseudo-intellectual fuckwit who uses a whole bunch of big-ass words to sound pretentious and smart.
Ignoring the fact that
we do a lot of that. We really need to fucking settle down with all of these fucking pseudo-intellectuals we keep looking at. God, I still have to edit the Patricia Taxon video. How embarrassing.
So those other two parts of human existence, you can then no longer trace value back to anything. But again, they just push that.
Yeah, it's the whole spectrum. That's right.
To the side. Until we get into postmodernism, which really began in the 1960s, late 1950s, and has gone on right up until today. And with postmodernism, it's a recognition of that fact I just talked about. They recognize that, if you get rid of all of these other things besides the physical, there's no real meaning to anything. And they didn't say, well, let's go back to meaning. They said, well, let's embrace the nihilism that points to. And that's why you get entertainment that is based upon deconstruction.
What deconstruction are you even really talking about? I mean, really? Like, what deconstruction? There probably are some, I guess. But I mean, if you're just a fucking... The fact is that this is like a kid's movie, so if you're just a kid and you watch this and you're not aware of the deconstruction of Western civilization or whatever the fuck, you're probably just getting a normal movie-going experience. But if you're this guy and this needs to be what your video is about, then I guess that's what you're gonna get out of it, isn't it? It's kind of like, again, that Patricia Taxon person just reading autism into fucking everything. And telling that guy that he made a furry album because they decided to interpret, like, gay furry dog sex in their lyrics that have nothing to do with that at all. Yeah, I guess this is, yeah, you're right, actually. The West, follow the West. West is fallen, everybody. West is fallen. Wrong clip, sorry.
Take things like Heroes or Story itself and deconstruct it to show the audience that all these things that you thought had meaning when you were a modernist thinking person, well, neither the parts of that nor the whole have any real meaning because there's no connection to anything greater. Therefore, all you got is nihilism. And that's what
And if you don't have God, then how can you have morals, honestly?
Construction of postmodernism was. And still
somebody in chat just says, why is Spider-Man a Mexican guy named Miles Morales now? I like that, because it's like, well, that's kind of what the whole fucking series is, I guess. If you want to call it a deconstruction, it's like, well, Spider-Man has always been Peter Parker, but it is just the name of a hero. And so the whole point of this series is like, no, Spider-Man is everybody. Is like all of these people, basically. And, like, it's a title, and, like, a lot of different people can be Spider-Man and have different facets of their personality, but still be that thing. And I realized while I was watching the movie that it's kind of a nice thing about, like, yeah, we're all Spider-Man, we're all kind of the same, but different. Oh, it's just about, it's like people! Oh! we're all just like people. Everybody's the same and we're all good, and it's like you and me, Gwen, we're like Spider-Man, but we're different, but we're like the same. Oh, and I realized that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of a nice sort of thing. And Peter Parker is still there, and Peter Parker's great in this movie. He's doing his whole, he's a nice dad man. He's a nice dad man. Why can't Peter Parker see now?
Why can't Peter Parker just be happy, for God's sake? Why does he always have to be broken up with Mary Jane? Finally in this movie, he's got a daughter and a wife, and he's happy, and they look happy together. Why can't he just settle down and be happy, for God's sake? You're fucking heartless!
You know, like, for the longest time, it's like he can't just settle, he can't just be a happy dude, you know? He can't just be chill. And it's like, finally, we get a new Spider-Man. Let him be the guy who fights the Octopus Man or whatever. Let Peter Parker raise his kid, goddammit!
To some extent. But now we've moved on to meta-modernism. And just one caveat before I get there. This is what I was talking about over the last couple of years on my channel. Every once in a while, I would mention the fact that once the quote-unquote progressive people start to lose control, they're going to steep themselves in nostalgia. This is, in some sense, a retreat point for them to gather their strength. Now, I didn't foresee it happening in this way exactly, but this is what meta-modernism is. First of all, it's the cultural storytelling that embodies the idea and acknowledgement that from postmodernism, yes, we know there is absolutely zero meaning to anything, but within metamodernism will give you the illusion that you can cling to some kind of self-made, self-referential meaning that...
What is he... Like, I think I'm too fucking stupid for this guy's big intellectual book learning words. I don't know. I don't even get what he's fucking getting at with the meta-modernism, all this fucking shit. I don't know. I just watched the movie and I'm not a soulless fucking monster, and I just had a good time. What's fucking wrong with you? I don't know, man. What's wrong with you? Like,
again, you construct for yourself.
Fucking
now,
hell.
As I talked about last week, part of doing this is these multiverse, metaverse kinds of stories where they try to crack into the idea that all choices are open to you because of the multiverse, although no choices are open to you because of nihilism. Again...
Yeah, what is Blood waffling on about? I don't know. Well, that's enough of this guy. That's a very highfalutin character right there. He's a real user. Fourth Age. That's cool. Give me some more cool people. Name me a user, chat members. Give me a good user I can look up. I want to look at a user. I want to rant on a user. Look at Artie's place. Artie Fine here. Artie's place. Well, it is an old man with a microphone. And for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, for over a year he has been posting 30 to 60 second clips called The Daily 5, where he just sits by a microphone and I guess read something. This one here has a slightly different title. But no more views. I think that would have drawn some eyes to it. I'm going to click on this one. Oh. Come on now.
Good morning, YouTube Pie Smokers. Friday, TGIF. We made it through another week. Believe it, it's August 18th. And raining in New York, very swampy, 61 degrees. But damn.
So this is like the David Lynch channel, I guess. I think it's like the weather will be rainy.
Wet, humid.
Each ball has a number.
Heading up to 80. Fair and softly goes far. Leaders live by choice, not by accident. Effectiveness is a habit. The bread always lands butter side down. You ever notice that? Or if you grease a part, it'll land on the grease part. A man in debt is so far a
It's just
slave.
like reading. This is like when you fucking save your game in Metal Gear Solid 2. It's like Otacon, just like, you remember pre-ripped pants? Like, thank you, buddy. So I guess he's been doing this for a year. That's cool. I don't know why you told me to look at this. I guess that's mildly interesting. Grandpa got hold of a camera again. Somebody's telling me to look at Cyrax. Gamers. That's embarrassing. That's just embarrassing. Geeks plus game. I don't need to look at that fucking laughing fuckstick. I don't need to look at that guy. John Del Arroz. Alright. John Del Arroz. Oh boy. John Del Arroz, the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction. #1 best-selling and award-winning author John Del Arroz tackles the hard topics in culture. Ask the hard questions! And shares his love of comic books and graphic novels. Buy his books, alright? And, his videos here, let's see. Gender queer isn't banned like the publisher lies! It's just not for kids. We got Trump videos. We got a video about fucking... Wait. SJW mags. Cringe e-begging. Russell Brand demonetized in sadistic attempt to completely unperson him. Why are YouTubers... Oh boy, this is fun. Why are YouTubers silent on One Piece's trans problem? Oh boy, let's get into it.
I swear I was the only person on YouTube calling out the fact that...
Okay, I'm sorry, this is not a very good... Hang on. I really need to put this on the soundboard. Come on now.
Netflix has a main character as a transgender out there.
A
Very bizarre
transgender.
that they cast things that way, but it's really not. This is what Hollywood's attempting to do. They are attempting to brainwash us, to groom us. And I always see this these days, and it's been something that's been a trend over the last few years, is that conservatives are so desperate to have film content, TV content that's new, that they can talk about, that they can go to the water cooler at work. Do people even go into the office anymore? And just be part of the tribe, I guess.
It's like distracting a little bit. So conservatives need to be part of the tribe. Can't watch anything that doesn't align with my views and all that. Right. Got that. Gotcha.
That they go, oh, it's really not that woke. There were just a couple of weird race swaps, you know. I mean, and you know, there was that part where the person ranted that Black Lives Matter, but it wasn't really woke, all things considered. I mean, it didn't have.
He really needs to stop staring at me though. That's why I played the Oblivion music, because he is really just fucking right in the deadlights. I don't like that. Stop Hollywood, sissy hypno. What the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think he's talking about One Piece right now specifically. He's meaning like generally like, oh, this show was okay. It wasn't that woke, that kind of thing. Which, I mean, I don't know. One Piece is a weird one. I don't know who's supposed to be trans on One Piece. I mean, I don't think anybody. I mean, we haven't gotten to the... That one island that Sanji goes to, we haven't gotten there yet.
Full-on gay sex in my face.
Okay, we're gonna get... So I don't know what... Hang on. I don't know what the context was. We just unpaused at a very good moment.
Considered? I mean, it didn't have full-on gay sex in my face.
You know, I just need to have a clip of him just saying, full-on gay sex in my face. Just that.
I mean, this is the level in which there's cope going on in our communities.
No way, say Gex.
Try to just call out what is Because when you have a trans going out there and pretending to be a man, and it's flung in front of everybody's faces the entire show, it's woke. That's it. That is literally what we were trying to stop from happening. Men are men and women are women, at least.
Okay, well, this is just full on. I mean, you know, this is the thing. I will say, I appreciate that this guy will just admit that this, you know, that he's transphobic or whatever. I think that this is a much more respectable person just for that alone. That he's willing to just admit that rather than the fucking heels versus babyface guy who clearly is and just, I'm definitely not. I'm not a transformophobia. But yeah, you are. You can just say it, but you're like too much of a bitch baby to say it. So like, at least this guy is, you know, if you asked him, he probably would say it, or he'd like essentially say it. I mean, yeah, you know, I can at least respect that he's a little bit more honest about his beliefs, whether or not I find those beliefs to be particularly tasteful or distasteful, you know.
They used to be. So here's from Bounding Into Comics. I'm very happy that they, of course, posted this. This comes from my editor, John Trent. And Netflix's One Piece encourages transgender ideology by having Morgana Davies play Kobe. It really.
Oh, what? This person was trans, I guess? See, like, this is what I'm saying, where I'm like, I watched that show, and I love that show, and I've seen multiple fucking videos talking about that show, and I've seen Kobe in a lot of videos. And, like, if this person wasn't out here complaining about their identity, I probably wouldn't have particularly noticed that it was I don't think I would have noticed anything. I think it's just an actor in a TV show. But I thank God this guy's out here to doing our work for us and telling us, spotting them for us so that we know, so that I know that the show that I just watched and liked was invalidated because they had a trans. I wasn't aware. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm having my heels versus babyface moment where he realized that he was really into a trans lady's tits. Yeah.
Well, it does. It is encouraging it. And of course, since these are all appearing to be youths and young teens and all that, it is actually grooming. It is 100%. And this is what they're doing across the board in Hollywood.
Wait, what's happening across the board in Hollywood?
And Netflix's One Piece encourages transgender ideology by having Morgana Davies play Kobe. It really does. It is encouraging it. And of course, since these are all appearing to be youths and young teens and all that, it is actually grooming. It is 100%.
Oh, it's grooming, okay. Well, I mean, but the actor's an adult, so what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? This is what I mean, where it's like, everybody who has decided to make themselves the defender of children for whatever reason on the internet, like, oh, no, but the children, though. And it's not even like, think of the children, it's like this weird fucking thing where you've decided to use, that's like your last stand, I guess. You have like I guess you have nothing else you can say really about your politics or whatever. You just have to be like, but the children, but think of the children though. I mean, yes, you've systematically told me that every other thing that I think is stupid and proven why all of my opinions are dumb. But the children though.
And this is what they're doing across the board in Hollywood. So Netflix's One Piece, which has dominated the streaming service's viewing charts for the past 2 weeks, encourages transgender ideology by casting Morgana Davies, a young woman who now claims to be a man, to play Kobe. Having watched 7 of the 8 episodes, the series itself and the storylines doesn't push the transgender ideology.
Yeah, almost as if it doesn't do that at all. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, like it even says so in this fucking article. This is... Fight the good fight, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're fighting the good fight, whatever that is to you. You know, that's funny. Because I remember I remember, like, somebody talking about Fallout 3, talking about, Galaxy News Radio and how bad the writing is for that, and how it's basically just this fucking guy narrating the game for the player's perspective, and nobody in the world would have any reason to care about this like person. But one of the things was like the Three Dog guy going, make sure to fight the good fight. And it's like, that's so like vague and nebulous. Like this guy really thinks he's fighting the good fight, you know? I don't know. I just was reminded of that for some reason. But I do love the way this article is going. Like, alert, alert! There's a trans in a thing, and then immediately it goes, well, now having watched the show, it actually doesn't push any ideology at all. Ironically, there's a scene that makes it clear that men and women are different. And yeah, I mean, that certainly does happen. So it's directly saying that the point of this article is wrong. It's just directly telling you in the article. Does it count as clickbait if you lie in the article title and then you just tell them the truth in the actual article? Like if you just say, One Piece is encouraging fucking degenerates, fuck, and then your article goes, no, it actually isn't, but... Is that technically yellow journalism? Is that, I don't know.
Now this is where I'm going to stop, and this is where people, of course, on our side go, well, it's not that bad, and it is. The fact that they're pretending and whitewashing all that away and not being so overt about it means they're more subtly programming you in your brain. They're programming you to accept.
So yeah, no, the person is like, they hate trans people just existing. I think that this person probably does. I mean, I think that Heels versus Babyface probably does to an extent too, but this guy would probably at least admit it, is what I'm saying. Like, you know, at least he's like at least standing by his convictions a little bit more, you know, whether or not it's stupid. But I don't know, just
overt about it.
You know, they're not being so overt about the ideology they're pushing in your face. Well, then I guess they're fucking not pushing it in your face, are they? I mean, I guess it is literally, because that was always the thing, was, shouldn't we want... I forget what it was that I was looking at recently, where it was somebody complaining about something, and it was like, well, but shouldn't we want movies to have, you know, like... representation in some way that isn't preachy and annoying? Wasn't that always the argument? Because that's the thing, when people fucking tell me, like when I get some asshole in my comment, there was some dickhead that showed up in my fucking chat, in my comments for some stream I did before COVID, and he said something like, man, dude, you used to be based as hell in the before times, what the fuck happened? And it's like, for one thing, people change opinions over time, and if they don't, then they're probably not giving you their real opinions. But for another thing, like, I don't know, man. You know, when I was upset about, like, media wokeness and shit, it was, at any point in time, it was because it was being preachy and annoying, and because the fucking people that make it were, like, talking down to the consumer, and were, like, saying, this is gonna be better, like the Saints Row game or whatever. Which, again, everybody hated, so it's like, who are you even mad at? You're fucking screaming at a wall. Like, everybody agrees with you when it actually counts. But, like, yeah, when, like, the Saints Row game, when they would come out and be like, well, this is better than the old one, because it's more socially aware and all this shit. Like, that's fucking stupid. And my whole thing was always, don't shove it in your face. Just make it a part of the fucking movie. Don't make it a huge thing. The new Spider-Verse gets it almost a little bit wrong sometimes. It gets a little annoying with the fucking Indian Spider-Man guy and how it's like, oh my god, chai tea is just tea, it's a tea. Like, I get it, I'm a horrible colonizer, I'm so sorry, I apologize for my whiteness. Like, there's a little bit of that, but, it's mostly just for laughs, you know? It's like, it's not even it's a big deal or whatever, but it's like, there's a tiny bit of that. There's a tiny bit of that, but like, when the whole fucking thing is like rubbing it in your face, that's the problem. If this was a whole thing, if they rewrote a vast chunk of Kobe's storyline to be about the trans identity, then I think you would have a fucking point there, sir. But they didn't, and this whole thing of like, well, just because they're not being overt about it doesn't mean they aren't still doing it. It's like, well, then I guess I just, like, when people say, oh, you used to be different, why do you change your opinions now? It's like, because my opinion was, at any point, maybe contingent on fucking some level of, like, rationality or something, and not just insane, irrational, fucking gibbering man-ape behavior. And not just like, no, but there's one! I see one! I don't like it! Like, my problem at any given time, like, when I was based before I became left-wing dork, it was contingent based on, like, Yeah, because I'm sick of fucking movies being like, yeah, and I'm a woman, and that's great, and it's great that I'm female, fuck men, and fuck white men specifically, and shit like that. Like, that's embarrassing, that's fucking cringe, that's awful, and I don't want that in my movies. You know, I think we can all, like, agree on that. I think nobody would really disagree with that, unless they want to laugh at that, which is fair, I guess. But, like, this just, I just love seeing somebody be like, no, even if it's not overt, like, nope, sorry, that was always my thing, was how overt it is. If you are able to have a fucking, you know, have a diverse cast and whatever, and you don't make it a big deal, and you just fucking do it, then I don't have a fucking problem with it. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry if at any point I made people think that I was a super cool woke, anti-woke racist. I mean, even though, like, Heels versus Babyface did say at one point that people need to wake up to the political realities around them, which is very different from being woke. He had to make very clear that you knew that it was different from being woke. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the other thing, is people like this are just very, very, they're very much like the type of people that I wanted to, that I clowned on, like, 8 years ago or whatever during fucking Gamergate, you know, like, but on the other side. Like, the blue-haired she-twink feminists and the goony beard men, the fucking, you know, I'm a super cool male ally type of person who would talk about how Gamergate was a misogynist hate campaign. Like, that's basically these people, but, like, flipped around a little bit, and obviously this guy's got some, you know, more hateful ideologies going on, probably, but, you know, yeah, this type of, like, ideologue that reads politics into everything, and you just can't have a fucking conversation with this person. Just like, yeah, One Piece show was great. It had a fucking person in it that was cast that I didn't like, and so I'm gonna make it a politics thing. And other than that, the whole show had nothing to do with that at all. But it was pretty good, though. Man, I don't know. That's just embarrassing. So that's that guy. I like, by the way, how he does this. He does the, like, fucking identity politics race card thing too. He does the, like, guys, I'm Hispanic. Like, I don't know. Doesn't that seem like a thing that somebody that makes this type of video? I don't know. Does that really matter? Like, shouldn't you be against, like, using your race identity politics or whatever? Isn't that, like, a bad thing? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's some politically charged stuff. I think, you know, I think we need to round down the evening, because it is getting a little bit late. I want to do maybe one more thing here. And I want to rant on a user. Namely a user that we've looked at before. Namely, I know I said that it would be a little while before we did it again, but, yeah. So this is why the Emoji Movie is a terrible, hot garbage, god-awful dumpster fire. And, you know, fitting in with the theme of cinematic disasters and film criticism and people talking about media and movies and stuff, I think really just if we did not at least acknowledge the kings of movie criticism and media literacy, I think that the whole point of the stream would be just invalid. So we'll watch a little. Someone in chat says, "What the fuck is this?" You don't catch a lot of streams, do you? I mean, it's not even just you haven't watched my recent videos, but you haven't watched any streams I've done in a little while, have you? Welcome. You're in for a fucking treat. Turn it down a bit. So the whole gang is here.
It's Niall again.
Hey, Niall.
Did you miss me?
I did.
Admit it. You missed me.
I did. My little Discord kitten. I did.
So last time, I ranted on Norm of the North, which is still my most despised film ever. I heard that you all loved it, and that makes me happy. I also heard that you enjoyed the other rants made on Super Origami Kingdom, which also makes me happy.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't find any single living human being on the internet who was talking about how bad the fucking Mummy movie was, or the Emoji movie. So I needed you guys to do. I'm glad somebody finally took those movies down a peg. Everybody liked them for some reason, but I thought they were pretty bad. You know, I'm glad that you finally, yeah.
I also despise Food Fight, which looks like a nightmare, but not as much as Norm of the North. Fish and Chips, which is so stupid and bland. Batman and Robin, which is a stupid movie.
Fuck
and very
that
cringe,
movie.
even
Very
though I found it
cringe.
cute, seems so bad they're good. Sausage Party, which I will never watch just because
Penis
of
Hell.
the rated R.
Penis
even though
Hell.
I saw so many clips.
I will never watch it because it's rated R, even though I am now about to just hard cut to a clip of Family Guy where Peter is beating a prostitute, which I'm sure he's gonna say is bad or something, but the point is you still watch Family Guy, so like, what do you fucking mean I won't watch Sausage Party? It's like the same shit. What are you fucking people on about? Jesus Christ.
Modern Family Guy, which I can't stand at all.
Yeah, but old Family Guy was also an adult show. Like, what are you talking about, Modern Family? They were also, like, for grown-up people.
You! Modern
And the Tom Cruise Mummy, which ruined the first two legendary Mummy masterpieces.
In what way did it ruin them? In what way did the existence of this movie ruin those old movies for you? Why are those movies ruined now? What do you mean ruined? It ruined them. Why? In fucking what way?
Those two masterpieces are The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. And still, Origami King is my favorite game of all time. Bobby and Olivia are my two favorite...
Yeah, it's Penis Hell time. We're back in Penis Hell, everybody.
...characters of all time. Norm of the North is still a big pile of garbage shit. Speaking of Norm of the North...
Garbage shit? Whoa, garbage shit. Be kind now. Don't call it... It's like compost shit, probably.
And I forgot to mention, the Lemmings piss. It is unfunny, gross, and disturbing.
The Lemmings piss.
Just watch this clip of the Lemmings pissing
the
in
lemons
the
are
fish
gonna
tank.
piss and bro be pissing. Yeah, no, I share your confusion, chat members. I don't know why Origami Kingdom has to, or why Origami Paper Mario and the Origami King has to be the fucking source of all of their, you know, fixations. It's such a very, like, unremarkable game for, as far as I know, I don't think there's anything, oh, don't worry about the squeaking, by the way. I don't think there's anything particularly, like, super incredibly beloved about it. I mean, it's kind of just another one of these new Paper Marios. I've said before, it's weird how these people don't focus on, like, they don't seem to focus on the good, like, Mario RPGs as much as they do, like, Mario... Well, what's also funny, they don't focus at all on, like, Color Splash or Sticker Star, so even these people don't seem to like those. But Origami King is based, I guess, and they barely talk about Super Paper Mario or the first Paper Mario or, like, the Thousand Year Door. Maybe they're too... You know what I just realized? They might not be able to emulate it for one reason or another mentally. Like, they might not be able to figure out the emulator or something. I don't know. Like, they might not be able to figure out how easy it is to just play fucking Paper Mario or the Thousand Year Door on Dolphin right now and not need to pay, like, full price for the remake thing that Nintendo's doing. So maybe that's why. Maybe because they haven't, like, emulated it, you know, and Nintendo hasn't re-released them. I don't know. But they are really into the Origami King. It's very strange. I mean, I guess, again, it could be worse. It could be Color Splash or something. It could be like Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Like, it could always be worse. So they kiss. That's
And they're making a 5th movie. If you guys really want me to rant on the sequels, I might do that. There are also some movies that I will always defend that gets way too much hate. For example, I love Cars 2. I honestly don't understand why that movie gets so much hate and calls it the worst Pixar movie. I honestly love that movie so much, and I personally think it's one of the best Pixar movies. If you really want a Pixar movie to hate, pick on The Good Dinosaur. That movie was a massive disappointment.
What do you mean disappointment? Did anybody have expectations for this fucking thing? Nobody wanted. I was about to say, like, yeah, that is the worst one. Nobody likes that movie. I don't think anybody even fucking saw that movie. I'm saying it's the worst one because nobody saw it. And because nobody really likes it, and I've never heard any good things about it. So, I'm just assuming it's the worst one. But, like, you're saying it's a disappointment? Who had, like, they really dashed my hopes for The Good Dinosaur. I really thought that one was gonna be the big one, boys, but they ruined it. They ruined it.
Now, there is this other movie I despise, just like almost everyone in the whole world does. It was a movie that got so much backlash ever since the trailer came out, and it only got worse from there. It is also my second least favorite movie of all time, and I think you all know which movie I am talking about. The Emoji Movie. Okay, before I start the rant, I have a tiny amount of positives to say about the Emoji Movie. First off, Gene's parents are actually decent characters. They are my favorite characters in the movie. Screw Gene!
You screw Gene, fuck you, loser!
Also, the scene in the Instagram app with them was honestly heartwarming and sweet, and the animation is okay. And that is all.
Man, this is a video where we need, like, horrible loud background music, because all I can hear is the fucking fan running in the background. I say I've got a fan in my background, but all I can hear is the fucking fan in his background, and him talking, and it's just, it's very dino action.
The positives for this movie. Now the negatives,
it's giving dino action.
Everything else. So, before I actually start my rant, I gotta say, I bet
we need like a bingo for this type of video where it's like that's it for the positives, the negatives, everything else. I'm so sick of that. If I see that in a video that I click on and I'm like, oh, this would be a funny video talking about this bad book or something, and then like they go, all right, well, that's it for the positives, and now all the and I'm like, like we need like a fucking bingo for shitty video essay tropes.
Almost everyone looking at the Emoji Movie trailer, you could tell that it's garbage.
Yeah, it's like somebody doing a presentation in high school, except you were forced to do those, I think, generally. This is like something that he's choosing to do, and yet it's very, I mean, it's just questionable. It's like you're choosing to do. I always say this. I've said this before. I'm like a broken record, but like, I don't know if I've said it about these guys, but I've said it before. Like, nobody is forcing you to make these videos, you know? Like, you are the one who's chosen to do it. Well, this is your show. We're all here for you. And for you to be so, like, timid and like, this, movie is great, and just like, I don't know, man. Do you not even want to be here? Like, you're making this. It's so strange. Like, why are you even making this? You're not making any fucking money out of this thing, so like...
Just like in the Norm of the North trailer. Well, I do think Norm of the North
I mean, it could be like a speech impediment or something, I suppose. He's probably trying his best, I suppose. But it's more of a general thing when I see videos, you know, and I'm just like, wow, this guy doesn't seem like he wants to be here. This guy doesn't seem very enthused about the thing he's talking about. He's supposed to be jazzing me up and making me care and everything. You know, it's a fine line. This is like the opposite of like the dogs eating dog 6 thing, because I remember with that guy, the whole thing was, why are you so mad? Why are you so animated? Why are you so angry? Why are you gay? But this guy, it's like the complete fucking opposite. It's just like, why are you so, You're just very, very, very chill, very chilled out, very unenthused, uninterested generally. And, you know, it's hard to get into a video when the user who made it is being a fucking user.
I still despise the Emoji Movie. You can also tell by that because I didn't give any positives to Norm of the North and gave 3 positive to the Emoji Movie. Also, the reason why I didn't like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too is because of the food puns. They make me cringe so much. Just like Mr. Freeze's ice puns in Batman and Robin.
They all have to use the fucking lobster font too. They love that font.
Then, I also did enjoy Chester V as a villain, however. Mr. Green from Norm of the North.
God, you're not even talking about Norm of the North. You're talking about a different movie, for fuck's sakes. Alright. Alright, well that was a little bit of Origami Kingdom. I think we're good. I think that's fine. We've been going for a while. It's been a little bit of a stream. I gotta go get some dinner and stuff. I gotta go shoot some guys. So I'm gonna read some super chats here. We got $2 from Dodge Ram 1500. Clawman coming out with these jams, and then $2 from Dodge Ram 1500 evening stream. TMDWU. I never understood that. I know that's TWU is that's what's up. What the fuck is TMDWU? What is that? Is it, to that my dudes is what's up? Is that it? I don't know. I've always seen that. I'm sure I've asked that before and people in chat have told me. I'm sure they've explained it before. $2 from Muds33. I can't wait to see some cinematic disasters. Well, we found a few. $2 from Bling Bilby. Do Animats reviews, why don't you? Oh, maybe next time. I think I've had Animat saved for some time. Animat's definitely on the list. I'll have to remember that. Next time we do a stream like this, I think we'll focus more on nostalgia-gritic type characters, you know, rather than political grifters and autism lords. I think we'll try to thread the needle right in the middle and find some more nostalgia critic type people. And Animat would fit that perfectly. $2.79 from Bathtub Fish FFS. At least get out of bed before filming. Yeah, I mean, you know, he just had two yum-yums and he had to feed his dog his sopa pal. You know, that's most definitely what's up. That's right. That's most definitely what's up. All right. $5 from Aurelius. Pedophile, where are the... Here I am, right in a teen. $10 from Aurelius. I love DeadwingDork streams. Guys, they're so great. Guys, I can't, guys. It's so great, guys. Guys... God damn, this animated child is hot, guys. Yeah, that's what I imagine that guy's brain is like a little bit. Yeah, $5 from the game Schizo. New drinking game. Take a shot every time he says guys. Listen, there is a legit possibility of like danger if you try to do because I was considering making a joke even in the video about like the user drinking game. Every time one of them says user, take a shot. But like, I don't know. That's not safe. That's not safe. That one's not safe. That's another one, by the way, for the shitty video essay bingo, is when somebody goes like, don't do this drinking game, it'll kill you. Like, they make the drinking game joke, but then they're like, if you do it, you'll die. I hate that. I hate that. It's so overdone. It's so overdone. $10 from Oofies with 2 eyes. Can't stay for long, but I want to wish you a good stream. Update on the job situation. It's going much better than my first day was. Apparently nobody likes the broad that made me cry. LMFAO. Well, you know, that's good to hear. You know, it's always good to find out that it would be a shame if you were like being picked on by the boss's favorite and the office favorite and like everybody loved that person, and then you were just like, either you were doing something to fuck with them and they like weren't happy with you and you were like a bad user, or you were like, you know, working and like you were doing a good job and they just decided to pick on you. but like nobody would know it because they were like everybody loves them, and then they decide to femdom you a little bit, and then that's the fan fiction that I'm writing. $2 from Chris Canul. Cinematic disaster. Yes, indeed. $10 from Aurelius. Sorry.
No background checks! No story! No plot! No evidence! No research! No interrogation! No trial! No prosecution! No conviction! No jail time! No rehabilitation!
No chance of parole, that's right. $2 from Milady Class. Look at RK Outpost. YMS looked at him before. Yeah, I want to look at that guy who shouted about... I forget his name. The guy who shouted about fucking, Parasite being, like, a woke or something. I forget what his problem was even with Parasite, but he was complaining about it. I want to maybe look at that guy. I forget his fucking name. Somebody leave it in, like, a comment or something. Leave it in the unlisted gang. $5 from Oofies with 2 eyes. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas and Luigi's Mansion 3 and Weed and Steely Dan Fan 2002. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a little bit lengthy. It's a little, I mean, but that's the problem. When one of your interests is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I mean, that's just gonna balloon out the size of the username. You know, that's gonna sonic inflation the size of the username a little bit, and you don't need that. $3 from Two-Tailed Treasure Hunter. Hello. Hello. Hi. $2 from Get That Griff. Haven't been able to dono recently. Hope you're well. Hope you're well? What about my well? What do you fucking hope about my well? Thank you very much. $2 from Fuzo. We need to bring back bullying just for RK Outpost. Well, I would say we need to bring it back in general, but, you know. No, I mean, you know. Obviously, there's an extent to which bullying can be a horrible thing that scars people for life, but there's also an extent to which I was bullied and I went, oh yeah, you know, I did kind of have a fucking loser-ass haircut, you know. Yeah, I kind of deserve that. That haircut was pretty bad, you know, like there's... You can't tell me that if you were ever... Anybody in chat, if you were bullied, you can't tell me there was never a time when you've looked back on something and been like, yeah, I probably had that one coming to me, yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, bullying, you know, to a point, it'll hurt you, it'll fuck you up, but... you know, if it's just a little bit of like, hey, you're silly, that looks stupid, your backpack is dumb, whatever, it's like, well, maybe your fucking backpack was dumb, maybe you are a stupid idiot, you know? And like, how are you ever gonna learn? That's the thing. People are just gonna be like weirdos for their whole lives, and nobody's gonna tell them because how dare we bully? And it's like, we could have just saved everybody, we could have saved that guy a whole life. Its bullying could potentially be considered, you know, in a light quantity, in a little bit of bullying. You know, you just tell, you know, your little kid, you know, you don't know the kid or whatever. You just see him walking in the street, and you're like, hey kid, you know, you look like a slur for homosexual people, and he's like 8 or something, and you know, that builds character for him. That makes him go home and critically analyze what about himself made you say that to him, and also cry, fuck that kid. That kid is a fucking loser. Fuck that kid. I'm glad he fucking cries. I bet his fucking parents are gonna get divorced. Fuck him. But, like, yeah, bullying, you know? it's what's happening. No, but legitimately, I mean, yeah, a little bit of bullying, you know, I mean, I don't think it's a good thing, obviously, for everybody. I'm not condoning bullying for everybody. But I am saying that, like, yeah, I don't know, there have been things in my life where I'm like, if somebody didn't bully me out of that, if I was not taught swiftly that Naruto running, well, Sonic running, it was the less cool version of Naruto running, but if I was not taught that Sonic running with my arms behind me was fucking embarrassing, then I would probably just still do that, and, like, everybody would think I'm embarrassing. So rather than have everybody around me for my whole life think I'm a fucking weirdo, I just had to have that moment briefly as a kid, you know, where I'm like, oh, I'm being a fucking weird. I don't think anybody even told me. That was a thing where I did it, and nobody really told me that it was weird, and then years later, actually, I was taught that that was weird. But there were other things. There was the kid who tried to fight me, and I held up my arms in like a first-person Morrowind fist-fighting stance, and I was like, I know how to do combat or something. I don't remember what I said. I don't know what I said, but it was something stupid. And the kid realized it was just not worth it to even fight with me, which frankly means I won. It means I won, really. It frankly means I won. So, I mean, I was so retarded that he couldn't fight me, really. So, yeah, bullying. That's where it's at. $2 from Autistic Wolf. Please elaborate on the boob window, Claw Nugchamp. I think in the early 90s, when comics were getting super fucking edgy, Fantastic Woman, or whatever she's called, Invisible Woman, she got, Sue Storm, she got like a new outfit that gave her, it was like really sexy. I think it gave her a boob window. If I remember correctly, it was a 4-shaped boob window, I think, but I might be wrong. But yeah, that was a thing. $2 from Autistic Wolf. Comics milking movies, milking comics. Milkception. Yeah. I mean, you get a lot of that. You get like, hey, there's now a series with Vision in it, so quick, pump out a Vision comic. But then they'll also promote the actual really good Tom King Vision comic from like 5 years ago or whenever it came out. I think it was 2015. I don't know. They'll promote that. So, and the thing is, there are good. That's the sad part too. Is there's so much shit being pumped out that it really does bury, and you would have no reason to think sometimes that something might be good, because it's getting buried by all of the terrible stuff. And there's like maybe a really good series of Batman that's happening. Maybe a new writer who took over and they got a really cool vision and whatever. But like you would fucking never know it because there's like 7 other Batman series at least that are all shit. And, they're all just derivative garbage and they're all just nonsense. And there's like pandering in some of them, and other ones don't have pandering but are just boring, lazy, lame comics with like lazy, lame art. Just wait until the AI takes over the comics industry, by the way. You think it's bad now? You think Marvel and DC are bad now? Just wait until it's probably already happened and I don't know about it. Wait until there's like a fucking huge scandal of like, oh, this entire artist was just stealing his art, like just doing AI art the whole time. Like, oh, we found out that this pose of fucking Elektra in issue number 30 was actually secretly just traced over of a thing from like this and whatever, like, that kind of thing. I mean, there's been like art tracer people in comics before, but once it gets to just, yeah, dude, I'm totally a comic book artist, and they're just using AI, like it'll happen. It's gonna happen. I mean, but on the other hand, it enables people to maybe make comics, who can use AI, I guess, in a way, like, honestly, and just say that it's AI, and, like, that's fine. If you're just using that and you're like, hey, I made it with AI, like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't really have a problem with that. It's the idea of somebody being like, hey, I'm totally an artist. Hire me, Marvel, and, it's not necessarily legitimate. $5 from Milady Class. Claw, Vito's friends with... Vito's friends with Mr. Girl and chose the side of pedos during the Pick a Side YouTube thing that Mama Max did a while ago. Oh, that's weird. Well, maybe we'll look more at that guy then next time. I just saw his Barbie movie video and I'm like, the guy doesn't seem like he falls into like the crazy, grifter crowd, but I don't know. I'd heard the name. That's pretty interesting though. We'll have to look at that some more. $5 from the Cat Warrior. This comic book guy is pretty much just Ken Penders if he was as boring as he is delusional. Oh man, don't invoke Ken Penders' name. He did nothing wrong. Not today, at least. 300 ISK from Baneblade. Comics peaked at Snowflame, the cocaine-powered supervillain. Yes. $2 from Tivy Tuvies. I've only heard the term meta-modernism from J-Reg. Well, yeah, like, I just watched that fucking Spider-Verse movie, and it's a good movie. And, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just left-wing dork or whatever, but I just watched it, and I enjoyed it generally, and I wasn't sitting over here thinking about the meta-modernist deconstruction of Western society and the fall of civilization, or whatever the fuck. Like, settle down, it's a Spider-Man movie, man. I don't know. It's like, if you want to be that type of person... Can't you at least go the distance and be, like, really into Shakespeare instead of fucking comic book shit? Like, I'm a fan of comic book shit, and it's on my level, and I'm saying if you want to be the super turbo intellectual fucking guy who's talking about all this fucking shit, like, don't bring that into the level of comic books and shit where it doesn't necessarily apply. You want to do that? Do that with, like, quote-unquote good media. Do it with, like, quote-unquote real books, you know? And I'm saying that as somebody who reads comics and enjoys them. I'm saying, like, as somebody who likes Spider-Man, I don't think that you need to fucking analyze Spider-Man in this way. I mean, maybe a little bit here and there, you know, it's the same. It's like your perspective is noted and it's relevant to an extent. It's a perspective you can have. That guy complaining about meta-modernism and, like, Across the Spider-Verse or whatever. But it's the same type of thing as the person saying that, like, oh, I view superheroes as being a trans thing or a gay thing or whatever. Because it's like, well, okay, that's your perspective. I don't really see it that way. But I can, I guess, see why you would think that, and, you know, why that would align with things in your life that, you know, make you want to view it that way in a sense, and maybe align with things that you see that I don't see, perhaps. But just, yeah, I don't know. I do think that the guy complaining about whatever wokeness, you know, blah 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 wokeness, I think that that's perfectly valid thing to put out there. To definitely have that on your channel and, you know, show that to people, and, you know, let them tell you what they think about that. Same as the person saying stuff about blah 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 gender binary superheroes or something. Like, that's, you know, maybe cringe, whatever, but definitely put it out there. That's, you know, more discourse for the world to chew on and talk about. It's can only be a good thing, I'm sure. Let's see, $5 from Aurelius Claw. I would totally let you have gay sex in my face. Well, thank you very much. I will probably put gay sex in my face on the soundboard, is how I was going to finish that sentence. $10 from Oofies with 2 eyes. Claw as your resident autismo. Oh, there's a few autismos, don't you worry. Origami King is a fine game, but the genuinely fantastic soundtrack has brainwashed our artistic brains to keep playing it to the end. It's the OST. That's the secret. Oh, I see. Well, you know, I'm sure the music is good. I'm sure the game is fine. Yeah, like you say, fine. It definitely seems better than the other ones. Recently. The other 2 recent ones. I stand up for Super Paper Mario. That game's fucking fine. I mean, I haven't played much of it, but that game is like a different thing than Thousand Year Door, but it totally retains the same feeling of, like, those first couple games. I don't know. Different thing. But also, I think it's Fez, but better. Fuck Fez, frankly. That game Fez and Phil Fish, that fucking hack fraud. Fuck that loser. And Fez sucks. But the concept of, like, game that transitions from 2D to 3D at the touch of a button, that's fun. And Super Paper Mario did it better. And, you know, it's that's a fun thing that game does that is kind of a unique thing. Outside of Fez, and I'm not fucking playing Fez. You know, so outside of Fez, it's a unique thing, and so that makes that game pretty cool. I like that game. I need to play more of it, but I don't really want to play a Wii Remote game at this point in time. $1 from Dodge Ram 1500, thank you. At $20 from Martha Gray. Did you get an AC unit yet? $20 for the cause. Nice stream. I did. I do. I have one. It's back there making noise. Probably don't need... I think I've shown it, actually, when I was doing my dog food eating stream. It's a good one to have out of context, as you don't seem to have seen that one. If you did, you wouldn't have asked that question. So, without any context, yeah, my dog food eating stream. But yeah, no, it's back there. I've got a bathrobe in the fucking window, keeping the thing together. I probably have to take it out at some point, given that it's no longer warm. But it is actually warm. It was warm today. That's why I have it on. I actually needed it. So, I don't know. I'm keeping it in place until it's no longer necessary. Thank you very much. $2 from Cosmic Lord. Sent VHS copy of 20 minutes to go to RLM for you. Oh man, that's great. I'm hoping they find that. You know, in 10 to 20 years when they get to that on Wheel of the Worst. I rewatched the one recently. The one that was the Japanese. And that's actually the one where I got. That's actually where that comes from. That best of the worst. That Wheel of the Worst, where they found the Japanese AIDS video, and it was just great because I'm like, wow, that is like, I don't know when that came out, but that has to be like 8 years or something removed from when the actual because they've been going for like over a decade now. I'm pretty sure that has to be like 8 years or so since when they looked at SOS. But I'm really hoping they get to SOS too. That would be amazing. Thank you for sending that. I hope they get to it. Yes. That brings us to the end. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the stream. This was fun. Let's see here. Yeah, bears are basically just big dogs. You know, speaking of completely unrelated things, I was gonna... Well, it's related because I thought of Jerry Seinfeld going, ponies are like big riding dogs, or something. I mentioned before I'm doing a retrospective on Seinfeld, which I'm sure has been done, but mine is better because I'm the premier authority on Seinfeld. Everybody else can get lost. Everybody else can just get fucked and die. I have the Seinfeld retrospective you need to watch. So if you ever want to hear somebody talk about Seinfeld and talk about each episode in detail, I have now finished all of season 1. I have notes about season 1, and I'm going to be recording that soon. Season 2, thankfully, is a lot better than season 1. Season 1, the funny thing, because like I've watched Seinfeld for years, and I remember I was watching some of it in order, like a year ago too, and I was watching it when they added. I don't know if it was a year, it was like 2 years when they added it to Netflix. I was watching some of it, and I was like, oh yeah, man, Seinfeld. I haven't watched this in a while. I'm watching it, and like I look up like worst episode of Seinfeld, and there's like a list of like the worst rated episodes, and I was looking at it like, no, but I like this one. This one's great. What are you talking about? And now that I'm actually sitting down and I'm watching it and I'm taking notes, and I'm just like, oh god, the one where he's like friends with the guy, but the guy is annoying and Jerry's too much of a bitch to like say that he doesn't want to be friends with him or something, and like there's just basically nothing to even fucking say about it. And I'm like, wow, yeah, some of these are worse than others. Like, once you actually start trying to be critical about them, there's not a lot to some of the early Seinfeld, but thankfully it gets better. So I'll probably watch a few season 2 ones tonight or something, and start taking my notes, because I want to do season 1 and season 2 probably as one video, and then take it season by season after that. Maybe take it. I don't know. I might just do the whole series and just make it like a 10-hour fucking video. Fuck you, eat shit. But I could just do it season by season, because they get to be longer, and also I have more to say about the later seasons. You know, early on, the first season's only 5 episodes for one thing, so it kind of appends nicely to season 2. But season 2 is when it starts to. I think that's where the Chinese restaurant episode is. That's the one with the parking garage. So like, season 2 is when it starts to get into its stride with like real classics. There's a few in season 1 that are okay, but it's not great. So there's my preliminary Seinfeld thoughts. I mean, it's great. I'll say this. It's great in the sense that the chemistry between like Jason Alexander and Jerry Seinfeld, or any of them, is fantastic. All of the acting is really fun and great, and like that's what carries it. If the cast wasn't what it is, that show wouldn't have gotten a season 2. The writing of season 1, and the worst thing about it, and I felt this watching it last time too. And I think, I felt this way every time I ever seen it, but like I realized last time, like a year or two ago when I was watching it, I was like, wow, yeah, this. And the realization was that the stand-up comedy bits with Jerry doing like the observational comedy bits, really not the best part of the show, to the point where they're actively detracting from it sometimes, and I'm like, oh god, I don't know. Jerry Seinfeld himself is not somebody I find to be particularly funny. I think I attribute most of that show's brilliance to Larry David more than anything. Like the combination of him and Jerry Seinfeld together. But him just doing his comedy is often just like just crickets. I mean, and maybe it's because I've heard it so many times, but like then I've heard the jokes on the show so many times and they still make me laugh, so I don't think that's it. It's just they're not funny. There's just a lot of it is just really dated. Really dated. Men and women are different! And like, oh god, thank you. Thank you. And dated in a way that's like a lot of the stuff in the show is dated, but it's still funny. It's just not funny. I don't know. And a lot of the they stopped doing it as much later on in the show. This is just turning into Seinfeld discussion. I'm sorry, the stream is like over, but like they stopped doing it so much later on, but early on they'll spend like a not insignificant chunk of an episode of Seinfeld just with him doing the comedy in the club, and like you'll even see people in the crowd who aren't laughing. And it's like, why is that shot even here? This isn't funny. This is not funny. Isn't the point of seeing people and hearing people laugh on TV to like trick me into thinking it's funny? That's what a laugh track's for. Are you showing the lady in the audience who doesn't think that joke's any funnier than I thought it was? I don't know. Anyways, that video probably sometime soon. I don't know. I gotta record stuff soon. Anyways, I gotta go shoot some guys, so I'll see you guys. Thank you for watching the stream. I'll talk to you again, maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime soon. Don't know when exactly, but sometime soon. I will see you. Take it easy. And I didn't say penis last time, so there you go. Penis. Double penis. There you go. 2 penises right in your face. Gay sex in my face.